Mac OS.
Recording has started.
Alrighty.
Say hello to YouTube.
Hola.
Hello, YouTube.
So, before we begin, before I bring us back to where our group currently is, how are we with a more nonlinear story structure? As in, I don't paint what's happening hour by hour. There's some time skips in between.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. You may see a little bit of that this session, maybe not, but bringing it back to the entire group, immediately after the lot of you barbarians tear apart Jim's mech. Jim, you are holding, as you step out of your mech, both of your arms are occupied by sort of pretty much cradling your sleeping daughter.
Guys, that's so fucked up.
I am.
Oh, wait. I'm just fucking.
You're in power, sir.
You know, I'm so I'm always right, man.
I know. Anyway. Oh, by the way, can you guys hear me decently?
Yeah.
Okay. Jim, you are cradling your sleeping daughter and doing everything in your ability to keep her asleep. Because if she wakes up again, you're not quite certain what may happen to the rest of these fools that had to dismantle you so brazenly like that. Who is going to be carrying the destroyed remains
I am.
of Jim's mech? Okay. Saddling up on your mech. You manage to... How do you do it? You just like jerry rig the parts to the back of your mech, or you just dragging what's left of that shit?
Pretty much I just grab it by its back and put it over my shoulder.
And it's quite a sight as this doubly large mass of metal is stomping, sinking into the soggy soil. And Jim, right as you think your day can't get any worse, it starts to rain. It's soft at first. Cold, sort of refreshing rain. And then it starts to just... The rain is light, but it's just continuous. And it is not long before you are completely soaked. Walking alongside these steel and polymer behemoths, you all sort of wonder. Shangyangy is struggling to get a connection to the local OmniNet. You would have to guess due to the weather. Otacon is also having similar issues, and while both of them are working to troubleshoot, the walk, or rather wander about the plains, is silent and aimless for 20 blissful minutes. And unless one of you decides to break that silence, we will continue to the next scene.
There'd be a point where boss tells Otacon to break comms channel, so it's just him talking to Otacon.
and the connection to your allies would be momentarily severed without so much as a... No one has any idea, pretty much, that's silent.
You think we could fix this thing?
I would have to take a look at it, but maybe if we... Well, unless we magically manage to find a printer somewhere.
The camp we're heading
Think-
towards, they said they had a printer there.
Right. If we could manage to find the camp, that is.
We were given a direction. I'm hoping it's in that direction.
If we had access to a Type 1 universal printer, we might be able to make do. It would take a while, though. Once we
Yeah.
get the team back together, if you're willing to spare that much time.
I don't like him being able to pilot a mech, especially with whatever he's doing that can hack our systems, but if we get into heavy shit, I'd rather he be able to fight and actually help us instead of us just having an unarmed man.
I have an idea.
What was
I
that
do
be?
believe whatever I detected on the inside of his mech might have been another NHP. I wasn't certain, but something is wrong with it. Deeply wrong. It's like... I'm not sure. I would need to analyze the remains of his mech and do full spectrum analysis, but I may be able to sever the connection that he has with the unstable NHP. In doing so, you would effectively cripple his capabilities and make whatever was about to happen before you rightfully disassembled him. Make it, well, prevent it from ever occurring in the first place. It may have been close, dangerously close to unshackling. And I know you may not be an expert on NHPs, but you definitely don't want that to happen.
Anakan, you realize that I've been fixing you up for the longest time. I have a vast idea of NHPs.
Oh, of course. It's just, well, we haven't met many others in our travels. Not exactly like, well, your random mercenary or jobber doesn't really get hands on something as dangerous as, well, something like me, I suppose.
Please. Let's just have people. Oh, there goes Raymond.
Oh,
Raymond don't like what Raymond don't like what he's hearing. Most of the time, I'm pretty sure people would just consider you to be a nerd, but I know what you're capable of.
Well, I'm only able to operate in half the capacity that I'm able to because of your faith in me. I'm not wholly aware of what I'm capable of myself.
We work together like brothers, Anakan.
Yes, like a very odd pair of siblings, I suppose.
Alright. We'll cross whatever we're doing when we get to it.
And get to it we already have. During the course of this conversation, I've been picking up something hazy. It's a good bit away, but I think I'm hearing chatter on open air. Comms, no less. Not very secure.
Can you clean it up?
Of course. Would you like me to patch everyone else into it as well?
Reestablish radio uplink.
Of course. And then the rest
Thank
of
you,
you
Annika.
are clued back to conversation, Well, of course, to the rest of you, it was just silent. But between each of your functioning mechs, a little bit of static is starting to come through, and before that static sort of dies down, you begin to hear words, first a murmur, then a whisper, eventually becoming louder and more coherent as Otacon works his magic. And it seems to be chatter. And you almost instantly recognize it as very similar to some of the comms discussions that you would have if you were sent out on a larger mission with different groups. But something's off about it.
Off about it how?
Well, the voices that are speaking, you hear a vast variety. You hear young people, you hear old people. When I mean you hear young people, I mean you hear particularly young people. As in people that should not be of fighting age. Just chatting away on the comms.
Child soldiers.
And you pick up a term that is occasionally slung around between the different groups of people talking. You hear eggs, bugs, Gregs, sort of being tossed around, and seems to be a rather hot term.
Do we know? Would we be able to figure out what that means?
Well, not without talking to one of these individuals. It's just sort of local slang, you would have to assume. But seeing as how they're speaking on open air, so to speak, that leaves you with an opportunity. Would you all like to stealth, exit your mechs, try to communicate in turn?
Why not? I have the ability for this. Just such an occasion. I'd like to try and get a bit closer on foot.
Alrighty. So you said you're getting closer on foot.
Yes, I'd like to put my sneaking suit to its paces.
Alrighty. Then I assume you're handing over control of your mech over to Hadakon.
Of course.
Alrighty. And he will keep a close eye on you. And as you move closer, aided by the wonderful technology of your stealth hard suit,
And camo cloth.
you are able to edge closer and closer. And you see, eventually... Actually, go ahead and roll me a spot.
A spot?
Yes.
How do I do that again? In a bit.
You just go into your pilot sheet, which is still a clock. I have to change that. While you're doing that, I will change it to pilot sheet. Right. If it's not in there, then
Is it in the skill triggers?
Survive.
I have read a situation and survive.
Survive. Honestly, read a situation, survive, or act unseen or unheard. All of those will do the trick.
I'll use act unseen or unheard. Hey.
Not bad. Alrighty. That's a clear success. So, moving forward, you're able to particularize a group of 8 to 10 medium-sized patrol, it seems. All moving in between swaying tall grass, like ghosts. Not so much as even disturbing a single frond, wreathed in dark ponchos. One of them carrying a particularly large weapon, a weapon in fact that is so large that this person seems to need a third arm just to help them carry it, and has a tertiary arm, as it's called, jutting out of a backpack and helping them carry this weapon. And each of the members of this small patrol seem to be similarly armed with their own custom loadout, which clues you in on a few things. This is probably not a standardized military, and is probably not a mercenary group either. You think you might be looking at a local militia of some kind.
Looking amongst them, do they have any identifying markers, like what militia they'd be a part of or anything like that?
Not particularly. The dark sort of ponchos that they're wearing obfuscate most of what would be a proper uniform. Also, Waylon, do you want me to use the art that Vinny drew for boss?
You can, yeah. I don't have the one Delaney has been drawing at the moment yet.
Alrighty.
I just kind of bring my hand up, I bring my hand up to the earpiece in my ear. Otacon, stand by. I'm gonna attempt to make contact with this group of what seems to be localized militia.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Well, it's either they shoot at us when we approach them with mechs, or they shoot at me, which might be very hard to do. Because I'm not going to approach them, I'm going to comm check them.
Right. Well, all of us are on standby if you need us.
Alright. I'm leaving our comm channel open. You'll know if I'm in trouble. And after that, I would look at the one with the third arm that I assume is like might be the leader of this troop. And what is the name of our mercenary company again?
The name of your mercenary company, everyone has a different idea of what the name for the mercenary company
No, I mean the one we're actually all working for.
Oh, Mere Smoke, or MSMC. Mere Smoke Mercenary Company.
And I just look at this person and I tap my earpiece again, letting it, connecting to their channel. Attention localized militia. This is the MSMC militia company. We've been sent down here as part of a, what was it? Distress beacon.
And immediately everyone in the group would freeze. And you see several of those dark cloaks that you were seeing earlier vanish, as each of those people seem to activate their invisibility suits.
Oh, they also have stealth hard suits.
And all but 3 individuals completely vanish from your line of sight. That being sort of 2 people on the left and right backing up this person with a large gun who raises it, but doesn't like charge it up or anything. Instead, they're just keeping their head low, and you see them raise a finger to their earpiece to respond on open comms. You hear sort of a softer voice. Well, this is a new one. We didn't put out any distress beacon. We were actually coming a bit closer to investigate some rather loud reports that we heard. And some signatures that we traced, that we linked to mechs. Now, of course, I would have to assume that you're not foolish enough to approach us by yourself. So your friends must be somewhere else.
That is indeed the case. They are not
You don't
far behind me.
If you don't mind demonstrating a little bit of courtesy and uncloaking wherever it is around here that you're hiding, I will return the favor, and we can meet and parlay a bit. We didn't send for a distress beacon, but we most certainly could use some help.
And Boss would step out of the bush that he's hiding in, and before he turned off his cloak, Otacon, he'd switch back over to the private channel with Otacon. Otacon, stand by. It appears they wish to parlay with me.
And you get the digital equivalent of a nod.
And
Remember, we're right next to you if you need us.
Oh, trust me, you'll know. And that, I'd switch back over to the open channel, and I'd turn off the invisibility function of my stealth hard suit, walking towards the middle of where they were.
And the individual with a rather large gun will see you approach, perk up, and signal for the two people to their left and right to sort of hold their position as they will approach. And you will see this individual pull their hood down, and you notice the face of a rather tired-looking woman. Sort of swept back blonde hair, deep ocean blue eyes, and a scar on the right side of her face, barely covered with a bandage. And you're getting a better idea of just the amount of firepower that she is packing. Not only does she need a tertiary arm, she actually has a full exosuit, like a couple steps away from a hard suit, to help her with the weight of this weapon.
Kind of a bit complicated to be carrying around in this marshy terrain.
Against the eggs, we need it. So, now that I've confirmed that you're not with the bugs, let's greet each other properly. And she'll stick out a hand with sort of the tertiary arm bearing some of the weight of the anti-armor rifle that she's carrying. She seems to stick out a hand for an earnest handshake.
I'd reach out and shake her hand.
And she would nod, look at you. The name's Brava. Brava Hedrua. And, well, we didn't notice any vessels coming in. Did you really need to stealth all the way over here? Of course,
Well,
we heard your little gunfight, but we didn't see a shuttle land anywhere.
that's because our shuttle got shot out of the sky. by the storm.
Shot? Ah. I see you made your first mistake. Trying to move through our beautiful dark clouds here without a little bit better protection. Was it small vessel? Or something more substantial?
What would our vessel have been considered, Joseph?
Your vessel was a lot more akin to like a skipper or a drop ship, pretty much. Pretty much like a step above, like 2-3 steps above a drop ship. It should not have been blasted out of the sky by lightning. So it was either some freak lightning storm or something else.
Let's just say our ship could have survived that. There was no reason it should have been shot out of the sky, but it was. Specifically because that lightning bolt took out our reactor.
I see. Took it out as in destroyed it, or dropped it somewhere around here?
Completely removed
Actually,
it from
no.
the ship.
Well, at least it's vaporized and not hanging around some here spewing out radioactive material. Anyway, besides the point, we shouldn't hang out outside the walls for too long. Patients will probably want to see you and get you registered with Evergreen Systems. That might all sound like a lot. We're a part of a militia for a local colony. Don't think you've heard of it. Well, seeing as how you're off-worlders. We're called Evergreen. We're managed and run by patients. They take care of most of the things for us, but as of late, we've needed to exercise some, well, military presence.
I take it you've also had bad run-ins with robots or mechs that seem to be controlled by nothing?
Thankfully, no. We've had to deal with, well, the bugs.
Are we referring to actual bugs?
No, well... And she'll sort of look to the left and right at some of her fellow militia members. We don't really know what they are. But they are rather capable fighters, and many of them are piloting some pretty substantial mechs. We've had the ability to print our own mechs and keep them at bay and, well, keep them from punching holes in our town, but it's been difficult.
Let's see. Do I remember, like, what all the stress beacon we got said? Like, who we were supposed to look for when we got down here?
So you were basically sent down to the surface of the planet, or requested to go down to the surface of the planet by a Union official who said that they were sending you down to respond to a distress beacon. Before you could get close enough to even detect it, your ship has fallen out of the sky. So for all you know, it could have been this colony, or it could have been something else. Now, there was also a distress call at the show farm, which was the farm essentially getting surrounded by the robots that you have already dealt with. And Otacon has not detected any distress beacon any further, though with access to a tower or anything sufficiently tall enough to sort of break through the storm a little bit, you might be able to find something else.
Well, I don't know if what we were sent down here to do has been completed yet. I do know that we were also supposed to link up with some colony. I assume it was the Everest colony.
Evergreen.
Evergreen. But
Well, you may have just stumbled your way into helping us fix some of our problems. Anyway, would you like to invite the rest of your friends here, or gonna leave them out in the cold rain?
and And boss would just tap his earpiece and switch back over to the Otacon channel. It's clear. You all can come forward.
And unless there's any talk back, or back talk rather.
Do I?
Yeah, Jim, you're not even in your mech. You are on foot.
Yeah. Oh, earpieces or?
No, you would have been kept in the loop by someone, probably Shangyangy.
I mean, I just assume everyone has an external communication device.
But assuming no other gripes or grievances, the rest of you would approach in your own unique way. And you would start walking with this group. Several of the members of the militia actually, well, in fact, all of them, the 8 to 10 of them, will uncloak, keep their hoods down, but will still be walking with the rest of you and give you all a nice sort of escort. And it doesn't take long, 5-10 minutes more of slow plodding along, as the mud just gets stickier and your mechs start to sink just that much more. Jim, you're soaking wet at this point, but Brava, you're like a sad wet cat at this point, but Brava does offer you a nice gesture in the form of a spare cloak that she has.
I'll take it.
And, well, you're already wet, but it prevents you from getting any wetter and helps you maintain some of your body heat. Up close, Evergreen is very obviously a colony town in the works. Tall apartment block buildings stand a few dozen stories high. Sort of grime-streaked white monoliths wrapped in cling-tight plastic to keep out the moisture. Colony is bordered by a low wall with buildings smashing right up against the barrier, as if it were a waistline cinched tight by an unfortunate belt. It's almost like this town is being choked by its own growth and development. From the center of the settlement, a dense smog spews out from various buildings, a sign of civilization. The final approach to the city is through a clear and ugly cut, across a road made from metal plates sunken into brick-red mud. Massive drones chew away at the forest as crews work and gather and process fallen lumber, turning it into suitably sized logs to feed the growth of the colony. You smell burning sap.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Vinny. You smell
That's what the sap sounds like.
burning sap.
Oh.
And logs scrubbed of their bark with friction sand belts. With most of the work now starting to taper off as the showers continue. No sooner that you get closer to the settlement, you are soon swarmed by identical looking defense drones, each armed to the teeth, with rather intimidating looking pieces, but Brava simply waves them away, displaying a sort of identification card that then clears for all of you to pass further on into the city. As some keen intelligence fixes a central glowing blue eye on all of you that expands and contracts and seems to take in all of your features in each of your mechs and each face that it can possibly grab, identify, upload to some mysterious end. And Brava simply scoffs at the whole display. They're just getting your particulars entered in patient's database. That way, when you come to and fro from Evergreen, you don't get shot up by the drones or blown asunder by the mines once we get them set up. And the troop sort of leads you deeper into the streets of Evergreen, sort of tromping across soggy, sodden ground. You don't see any foot traffic of civilians. Nothing to impede your progress. The streets are strangely quiet for such a bustling colony. What little people you do see seem to scurry from overhang to overhang, as everyone here seems to have a keen awareness of how to keep dry in such miserable weather. You see, despite this being a colony built in a rather wet area, the prefabricated buildings are a poor match for this level of rain. Gutters spill over with water, and water barrels, long since full, gush over the side and pour out into the streets, making things muddier and slippier. Jim, much to your chagrin, as you are in normal footwear that you haven't had a chance to change out of, and are just soaked to the bone, and now your shoes are muddy and your socks are wet.
Can't wait to get twinge foot.
You approach an intersection where another set of troopers wait. They seem to be pressed to a wall, two-story apartment building that has long since been occupied by the militia.
Sorry.
The windows are shuttered, and whatever presence there is inside the building seems to be tucked deeper inside. And the rest of the militia sort of presses up against the wall as well, as Brava motions for all of you, especially your mechs, to move behind a building.
Away we go.
And as you do, you sort of still speaking on open air, you just hear Brava mention, I would be careful crossing through some of these streets as we move from the outer city and closer into the inner portion of Evergreen. We've had a problem as of late with the sniper. It seems to like picking off individuals crossing the street. And not normal-sized individuals, might I add. Vehicles, mechs. Makes anything pretty much impossible to get out this way. If that makes sense as to why we're all on foot. Whoever he is, he's been getting bolder as of late.
Maybe we might be able to help with that. Depends on what needs to be done.
I wouldn't recommend it. Whoever this guy is, he's a crack shot. We have other things we could definitely use your help for, but for now, I just recommend laying low, but it's up to you. And definitely up to what patients needs.
We've got a pretty good crack shot of our own, I'd say. But at the moment. We'll leave it.
The rain continues to fall as you are brought into the inner and most protected portion of the city. As I will lay out the settlement of Evergreen for all of you to see.
Let me see it with my own.
Alrighty. Ooh. It is kind of hard to control with just the touchpad. Oh.
I don't even see myself.
Because I have the journal.
Oh, can you guys not see?
I
Yep.
can't. I'm
Wow.
reloading.
No, this is a me problem. There you go.
My eyes.
Nice black boxes.
Yes, there are several black boxes in there because those are sort of kind of spoilers, not really.
Not really, then why are they powerful? Mine's longer, I did.
Damn.
Good.
Alrighty.
I'm so curious as to
Dracon!
I'm loading in to see if I can see.
Also, do not draw anything here. If I catch any of you drawing, immediate expulsion.
You act like I ever draw anything.
Yeah, no, that's literally just Raymond.
I still can't see. It's just black.
Jail.
Oh,
You're in the doghouse.
that was dumb. That was a dumb joke. Shut up forever. Die.
Who let the dogs? Alright.
Bro's taking off his shoes, guys.
Not. I'm
Yes, he is.
pinching my foot.
No, he's taking off his shoes. He's a liar.
Anyway. All of you are brought further and further into the
I can't
settlement
see.
of Evergreen.
I still can't see.
Can't see.
I still can't see.
Who can?
I can.
I can.
So all of you are brought further into the settlement of Evergreen, and hopefully the art helps better portray just
God
how
damn it.
strangely crowded and industrial this place is.
Now I can see.
That's good.
And the further that you're brought in, eventually the streets are growing more and more crowded to the point where it's impractical to remain in your mechs. Further ahead, Brava did mention that there was a shop, a hangar, so to speak, to where you could stick your mechs in and just leave them there until you need to take them out for something else. Located further in what she calls the governor's farm.
Okay.
Oh yes, because I definitely want to leave my mech around random people that we just met.
I agree. I wouldn't want to do that either.
Well, if you don't want to do that, then there's gonna have to figure out a way to keep them with you without accidentally destroying anything in a small city.
Or someone could just stay with the mechs.
Sure.
I mean, Otacon would be doing that.
Otacon can like directly contact you whenever.
Yes,
All right, cool.
Yeah.
that is the
That makes me
glory
feel
of an
better.
NHP. He can talk to me whenever he wants to.
As long as Otacon can tell if someone's tampering with the mechs, I'm good.
So
Alrighty.
we leave our men
So you all find somewhere to leave them where?
in the hangar, I guess.
So you're going to leave them on the governor's farm?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is the printer with the hangar?
Yes, it's all in one area. It's essentially, it's a hangar that's meant to house. It looks like it was originally a shop where people would sort of 3D print parts for vehicles or for fixing large portions of buildings, but it seems to have been now not necessarily retrofitted, but a bunch of different things have been added in there for all sorts of things now, as you see fabrication plans for weapons, mech parts, everything a growing colony needs to defend itself against an outside threat. And all of you are able to find a spot to sit your mechs and leave them, and repairs are offered free of charge by some of the mechanics who just want to take a look at the marvelous machines that you've brought them.
No.
Alrighty. And they stay off of Zayden's mech, most
Shut
certainly.
the fuck up. Stay away from Starscream.
I'd tell Otacon, like, on a private channel, keep an eye on them. And, like, when the private channel not being connected to anything else, to keep an eye on what the mechanics are doing. And if he can, try and fix Jim's mech and put a failsafe attached to the NHP.
I will fix my own mech when I get back.
I'll see what I can do.
A failsafe in the form of not necessarily deactivating the NHP right now, but having the option to do so if we need to.
And Otacon will consider your words. I'll see what I
You
can
see
do.
my messages?
I am looking at them now.
Oh, excellent.
Jim. If you're interested in doing that, you can actually, you can either send it via DMs or you can just describe it here. What of your skill triggers would you want to use to make that happen? Any of them could work.
Oh god.
As long as you can explain to me how you get that done.
Alright, quick question. It's been a while. Where do I see my skill?
Just go.
Should be in
just
your
open
character
up-
sheet.
Yeah, in your pilot sheet in particular.
Yeah, of course it's in the character sheet. That'd be more
It's in the
specific
pilot
than
sheet
that.
under. It should be in the tab that says pilot
Yeah.
/ narrative.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
See it? Where am I? Oh, yep. Alright. Yep.
So Raven, are you gonna text it to me, or what's the plan?
I suppose I'll use that charm.
All right.
Yeah.
How are you gonna leverage your outstanding charm?
Well, Sham is. Oh. Is Sham like similar to like how it is in D&D or like?
It's definitely more powerful than persuasion would be in D&D. This is more along the lines of just start talking to a group of people and use your force of personality to automatically achieve a desired effect, provided you roll a success. So if you wanted to get into a building that might not be accepting new visitors, like a private bar or a club or something like that, you could just smooth talk your way past the bouncer. Or better yet, you could just talk to a group of people that are already entering and then just seamlessly blend in with them. Immediately become their +1.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty damn cool that you say so much stuff and I think it's pretty cool.
Oh shit!
Hey, sure, why not?
Already.
You could find a group of people to talk to. Talk to it.
Oh,
What? That's fucking
But you gotta roll it. Alright, that's definitely a success. And as all of you are putting your mechs away, Rex, you step out, you're sort of having your conversation with Otacon. And sorry. Zayden, you're keeping the curious subalterns and engineers away and off of your mech. You manage to get a larger door that contains the separate rooms in the hangar. You manage to shut yours to prove a point. And I'm not assuming that you slam it shut or anything, but you're really trying to keep people away from your machine. And you know that thing when you close one door somewhere in a room and another, like, slowly opens?
Hello? Hello?
Delaney.
What?
I was like, what? Did you hear anything I just said?
No.
Alrighty? In trying to keep engineers and curious subalterns away from your mech, you slam a door to prove a point. And you know that thing that happens in a room when you slam a door and then another one opens because of the shift in air pressure?
Yeah.
You see another metal door slowly slide open. Perhaps you slammed the door a bit stronger than you expected, but you see another mech being kept in the hangar. Brava didn't mention anything about another person moving through here, especially not another pilot. And you see its features, and they're definitely non-standard for a mech. You catch a glimpse of teeth and sharp claws.
Oh, lovely. That sounds totally friendly.
But that's just a glimpse. You could open the door a little more to take a look.
Sure, why not?
And in moving the door open, Let's see. You detect, obviously it's not powered on, you don't see like flaming claws or the glowing eye or anything, but you see distinctly canid features on this mech. All of the parts seem to have a particularly tarnished gold, yellow-brown theme going for it. And you see that the hind legs and forelegs are drenched in dirt and what you would only have to assume to be old blood. You see a dual tail with vicious claws and a sharp blade jutting out from the back. As this mech looks like it's not armed with ranged weapons, but is instead built to get as close to its target as possible and rip it into pieces. Probably with the pilot still inside.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think I want to get any closer to that thing. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. That's a little terrifying.
Fair enough.
I'd really
assessment.
rather not get stabbed.
So
Or
I assume you
clawed.
just sort of reclose.
Yeah.
And as you do, the head of the mech turns as you close the door. And before it shuts, you swear it makes eye contact with you.
No, thank you.
And after that creepy ass encounter, you turn around, and Jim is gone.
Oh, for fuck's sakes!
Shangyangy is getting out of his mech himself. Seems to be occupied with trying to reconnect some of his personal devices to the local OmniNet.
Oh, his poor
What's up,
Twitch subs, bro.
And he's had to subsist off of just recording VODs at this point.
Oh, not the VODs.
Where did all of our bandwidth go? Totally not.
Our bandwidth.
Totally not this random dude that showed up uploading countless numbers of footage.
All of a sudden, the bandwidth just drops drastically in the city. It's like, what the fuck happened? Shangyangy's just taking all of it.
And all of you reconvene and realize your bounty is gone.
Okay, who the fuck was in charge of watching Jim?
I'm pretty sure you were.
Who? Since when? Who appointed me the one watching him?
I'm pretty sure you chose that yourself.
You were carrying his mech!
Yes! And I was also doing all the talking.
I assumed he was with you!
No!
Oh, fuck.
And you hear a whirring noise as a drone lowers itself. You hear, as a personal drone moves in front of all of you. And that same blue eye that you noticed earlier, boss, is looking, sort of gives all of you a quick sweep. As you hear a sort of low drawl address all of you. Well, I'd like to formally welcome all of you to our growing colony. Is there a particular name I should address your group by?
Oh, it's time.
No, we don't have to.
It's time.
All of us say a different name at the same time.
Yeah.
Do it. I'll do a countdown if you want.
Wait, I never came up with one!
I did.
Alright, say the first thing that comes to mind.
Oh.
3, 2, 1.
Diamond dogs.
Garbage man.
It's been Diamond Dogs. Shangyangy gives his own response. Jim's not there to give a response.
Neither is
And-
Crow.
All right, Crow's probably just. Yeah, now I think
Did
about it.
Crow
Crow's
stay back
probably.
with the ship? We kind of just abandoned the ship.
Crow did
No.
not stay back with the ship. It's assumed that Crow would have been traveling with you guys. Crow's
Yeah.
probably. They're actually particularly technically inclined, so they're probably making minor repairs to their mech. So you might see the Crow just like lean back while they're working on something and throw out a mech name. I don't know what Torn selected, but and the drone.
I almost said Ariana Grande.
The drone would seem to gather all of these responses, and it would take a few seconds with a perfectly poignant pause. Right. Well, whatever all of you choose to call yourselves, let this be a formal request for your assistance. Of course, it's not going to be for free. If you choose to help, you will be offered full access to level 3 permissions on all of our universal printers. We'll do anything and everything in our power to ensure that your mechs are well equipped with the firepower to deal with this situation. But before we can discuss any particulars, let's move away from prying eyes and ears and get all of you into a more comfortable setting.
Boss would just look
There's a
up.
bar at the edge of town called Bottom of the Well. It has rooms. I've taken the liberties of acquiring 4 rooms for each of you to split amongst yourselves, and perhaps more if you so wish. This is where you'll be staying as long as you're going to be enjoying our company here in Evergreen. Get settled in, take your time, grab a bite, maybe a drink, and when you're all ready, you can either meet me at the governor's farm or ask the bartender at the bottom of the well to patch me in, and then we'll get started.
I just kind of look up at the drone. I'm assuming you have drones all over this place. The rather gray-haired individual that we had in our company, he has disappeared. I don't know where he went.
Gray-haired individual, wearing a rather soggy-looking trench coat.
Yes.
I'm assuming black poncho.
Yes. He is a...
Of course, I have whereabouts as to where he is. As long as he is within my colony, he cannot escape my sight. I can
Don't like
suddenly
that.
direct him.
I would like to inform you he is a known cult leader and a bounty target, of to which we are turning in before
I
we
see.
got directed
If
here.
that's the case, I can get a group of subalterns to apprehend him and throw him in the jailhouse.
That would probably be best.
If you're certain. Now, when you say this man's dangerous, how dangerous?
He has an uncanny knack, from what I observed, to make people do what he wants.
Explains away why he was able to get into a private club without so much as an invitation.
What?
We have his mech here, and as long as we have his mech, I don't see him going far, but...
I'll keep tabs on him. And if he begins to make any particular sort of trouble, I'll have him apprehended and thrown in the jailhouse immediately.
Alright.
But given that he is a pilot, he may still be of use to me, so
Yeah.
trust me, I'll keep an eye on the situation. That being said, I have other duties that I need to attend to. You know my terms, and you know how to contact me. I'll be seeing you. And the
Cool.
drone just sort of flies away.
After that, Zayden will turn to Boss and kind of just like, maybe you shouldn't have mentioned that there was a bounty on him, because someone else might try to cash that in. Maybe you could have been like, oh yeah, he's a cult leader and a criminal.
You do realize that if we got shot down in the sky, none of these people probably have a way to get off this planet.
I didn't know that. They've been here for who fucking knows how long.
Exactly the point. They've been here.
Yeah, and if they've been here for this long, they probably figured out a way to get off planet.
You would have to assume that since this is a colony planet, shuttles are able to come on and off the planet to do trade and supplies and stuff like that. Which is why it's particularly odd that your shuttle was zapped out of the sky.
And not to mention, if it took the four of us to capture him the first time, with our skills, no one here would be able to do so.
Whatever you say, dude. I don't trust that drone guy as far as I can fucking throw him. I did not like the way he said that we couldn't escape his watch.
It's a colony.
Okay.
He's hearing all that. Oh, so you might want to plug in your Mac. We're dying! We're dying! We're dying! Oh no!
No, our table. It's broken. Shit. I got it. There it goes. We're good. Just having it on this actually helps. Oh, yes. Ah, yes. Okay, suck it up, Buttercup.
Ow! Foot cramp!
Ow! Foot cramp! Oh no! Our table! It's broken!
Regardless, we got shot out of the sky today. Not something I particularly want to do again, but there was a bar. I'm going to get a drink.
Alrighty. And your group will be able to slowly but surely make their way across the city. Curious eyes now drawn to you, as that smell of smoke really comes to mind now that you're in the city. And in particular, you notice that there are too few children playing in the streets for what this place is, and plenty of wary adults watching them as they go. And though there does seem to be a sort of malaise hanging over the crowded buildings, life still continues. And where things get really lively is at this tavern. As soon as the first of you opens the door, you see this place is almost full. Workers coming off their shifts, random townsfolk coming in trying to enjoy a drink or a bite to eat. It's a bustling crowd. And an immediately warm atmosphere settles over all of you. Your attention is drawn to a man taking a drag out of a massive cigar. Sitting in the far left corner of the room, seemingly having everyone in rapt attention as he recalls a story. And some of the other gruffer men around him, their impatient attitude just seems to melt away, as this guy seems to be a popular sort around here. Looks to be probably in his mid-60s. And you hear him just telling the tail end of his story. And if it weren't for those damn eggs, we'd have that shit unclogged by now. And we wouldn't have to worry ourselves shitless about this flood.
That voice.
Takes like another fat drag off of his cigar. Damn, I could use another drink. Sort of like chuckles rise around the room. And it's becomes readily apparent as you enter into the bar that you guys definitely aren't the strangest people to enter in here in recent times, because nobody really pays attention to all of you coming in. Probably blissfully. As any number of you move further into the room, approach the bar, the bartender simply glances at your group and slides 4 room keys over your way. Simply a nod and a enjoy your stay. If you need anything, let me know. Our lunch special today is interesting.
Is that its name, or is it just interesting?
Oh, it's called interesting.
I see. Okay then.
And the bartender will nod. Welcome to the bottom of the well. Please enjoy your stay. And he'll sort of motion to an upstairs portion where you'd have to assume your rooms would be.
I just kind of pick up all the keys and toss them to the other 3.
Alright, and this is a perfect chance for your group to rest, and for our players to rest as well. If any of you need to get up, get a drink, go to the bathroom, anything like that, this would be a good time to do so. If not, just let me know how long you guys would want your group to rest or settle in before contacting the man with the southern drawl.
I'll be right back.
I would also like to get up and get some water.
Yes, yes. And the rest of your dice, Vinny. It's like the exact opposite of size different. 90% helpful description. Oh. Bitty 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 bum. Bitty 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 bum. Bitty 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 bum. Oh, actually, change.
You like harmonized for that one. That would be great.
We did. That was the dumbest way to say that.
We did. We did. We did.
And instead, I will change this over to. See if Spotify's got it. God.
Oh, beautiful. That's beautiful. Is that not? Is it not how it works?
Hmm?
There's no way to do a fucker. I want to just be sleep. The demons need everything to try to figure out.
Our setting might be more trouble than it's worth.
What fishing with friends? That's literally the only reason. It was like a year ago, too, so like, apparently he doesn't miss it. It was in a cabinet. And it's my old rack. I know it is because he used it. If it's touchscreen, it is mine. It's not them. It's touchscreen because he used that he reset. So all of the novel stuff is gone.
No, I think about it. I kind of recognize it.
Yeah, this is my old laptop that I
You
used
used to
to
carry. Did you used to carry that around?
It even has the phone. The ones I used to do the parts stuff with, and then it's touchscreen. This is my old laptop.
Yeah.
Wow. Good. Motherfucker, so.
And Jim.
Well, fuck him. I'll do that later. I was just if it was touchscreen, I was scared to do it because I'm like, if it's not touchscreen, I just stole this laptop.
Yes. That was muted.
Jim, you will be contacted separately by an individual who will project his visage out through a hologram.
Oh,
Seems to be a rather interesting looking man, perhaps in his late 60s, maybe even mid 70s, balding, rather portly, and with a well-tailored suit that's just a bit wrinkly. And he'll sort of tuck in his tie, flip his collar a little bit, mess around with the cuffs on his jacket. I have a connection to the local Omninet that your group is going to need to maintain effective communications with whoever sent your wayward co-conspirators here. Now, I just heard from this group of your name and some of the various crimes you've committed outside the jurisdiction of my colony. Off planet, of
Allegedly.
course. Allegedly, yes. I just want to let you know that I have not seen your record, or your alleged record, nor do I know anything about you, as you are a stranger to me, and therefore as good as any of the other folks who have just wandered their way into my colony. So I'd like to offer you a chance at a fresh start. I'll just consider you a normal citizen here, and as long as you keep your hands clean, then we can work together. And of course, I can also see to it that your mech is fully furnished and repaired in operational capacity. And should you even prove to be an especially good man, I can even offer legal protections for you. In exchange, I need your assistance, your group's assistance, and your cooperation in these trying times.
Ew. I like what you're saying, but there's one thing. They're not my group. No. They
Oh, I got that impression. But
Yeah.
all of you come in here about the same time to my colony, and as long as they have you in their clutches, you're a part of that group. Now, of course, if you are willing to perform some of these tasks for me, I might be able to organize a personal shuttle to get you off planet and back to wherever you'd like to be. But I'm gonna need a little give before you can take like that. Can I expect your cooperation in the coming days then?
I think we can make this work. It's just one other thing I want.
And what would that be? Within reason, I might be able to grant it to you.
Jane says, might not be within reason, but I have a personal goal to settle with the other members of my group. Of course, after you have no more need of them.
Well, I'm going to have need of that group and their assistance for quite some time. But I do suppose, after this Egregorian situation has been handled, well, I suppose after all of you get off planet, if that is what you decide to do, then I simply can't influence what happens outside the confines of my own colony. And I leave that up to you.
Fair enough.
But of course, if you're looking for a head start, do consider my shuttle offer.
I suppose.
Right then. You will address me as Patience. I am the Colonial Administrator for Evergreen. Welcome to my colony. I do hope you enjoy your stay. And, well, if you're interested in staying in this private place, I can see if I can't afford you some accommodations. But there is an inn with more cushy rooms available for you to settle down in that the rest of your cohorts have found themselves attached to. It's called the Bottom of the Well. It's off towards the river. If you're interested, of course. Otherwise, I can seek accommodations for you elsewhere. If that would be more to your taste.
I'll stay separate from them for now, but when you need us, I'll come without a fuss.
Of course.
You would
I have a
happen
job.
to Yes?
Continue.
would happen to be able to exchange of clothes, would you? I was walking in the rain for quite some time. After all,
When you decide on a place that best suits your particular tastes for accommodations, you'll find a fresh change of clothes in whatever room you decide to select. Of course, if you need anything tailored and you happen to have the mana for it, there are plenty of individuals in town who can offer you those services.
Joseph, how did you end up doing a country Commander Zavala?
I don't fucking know. Are we all back?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are so. We
I
are
haven't
so back.
gotten a chance
How long
to
have you
what I
guys
have
been
to. Go do that.
I found out that the laptop that I basically stole from my dad's house like a year ago was actually my laptop that he reset, and so I'm resetting the fucker again. Or trying to. Won't work.
And as our group gets settled into their accommodation, Jim, you find a, I suppose, suitably luxurious place to accommodate you and your daughter.
Oh yeah, I was just about to send you a message. A room with a view of the city skyline. The most luxurious place that they could offer me. Cool.
That would be on the governor's farm.
Yeah.
If you're
Like
okay
wolves.
with being that close, if you're okay with being that close to patients, then that can be provided to you free of charge.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to cut to someone who hasn't had really any spotlight. As of late.
I'll be right back then.
Alrighty, take your time. Dogcatcher.
Right.
Don't make me regret this. You're in a basement cell and you see light for the first time in exactly 3 days, 4 hours, 24 minutes, and 32 seconds.
About 37 now.
Your very doting partner that lives rent-free in your head, literally, informs you every hour on the hour
Oh, wonderful.
of when you are in jail.
Yay. Thank you.
And she'll nudge you awake from your slumber.
Yay.
Get up in a little. Are you wearing your dog mask? The drool will just sort of like peel off of your muzzle for a bit. Just shake around.
Takes it off, shakes it, and clicks it back on.
And an individual with blonde hair slicked back and ocean blue eyes will stare down at you, fully armed. Look down. You don't recognize this person. She'll look at you. What was your name again?
Dogcatcher.
Dogcatcher. Well, you certainly have an interesting set of modifications.
Thank you. Made them myself.
That's hard to believe given how advanced they were. I've had some work done myself, so to speak, so.
Hard to believe given how not advanced they
Well, took me a while to recover from it anyway. That would be something new.
He kind of nods. Didn't say anything else. Permanent scowl on the dotted muzzle.
Well, I don't believe we've met. My bro. I'm the head of the militia here in town. I heard a couple days ago that they locked you up here. They thought you were a spy for the eggs, and I don't really think that's the case. You don't look like a bug.
No, what's up?
How long have you been in here sleeping on the ground?
Can she recite the exact to the second and then just keep saying it? Like 53, 54,
I
55.
understand. And I would like to extend an apology and an offer. But first, do you drink?
I do. And she clicks off the muzzle and it twists like 180 and it releases.
Big noise.
Yeah, and like it whines, it goes, and then she sits it to the side.
And Bravo will flinch back. I see.
And all of her teeth are able to be seen.
I think I much prefer you with that muzzle on, but I won't judge.
I'll keep it off then.
Fair enough.
She gets right up to the bars if she can, super quickly.
And Bravo was definitely taken aback by your appearance, but doesn't flinch away as you approach.
So, what kind of drink you got?
Not here. At a bar. She'll simply wave a pass over the bar to your cell, and the door will open.
She goes like this. Grabs her muzzle and whatever belongings she has other than that, if there's anything. I'm guessing not.
No.
I
You
figured.
stripped of any weapons you could have carried.
Because the rest of her face plates are in her neck. So she just grabs it. And it's like, well. Like it whines again. He's like, I'm ready to go.
Right. And Bravo will lead you out of the basement that your holding cell was in.
Yeah.
And you'll see the bright sting of sunlight as you are brought to a slow-flowing river at a tavern called the Bottom of the Well.
Wonderful.
You walk in, and the crowd seems to be thinning out at this point, save a couple of individuals. One of them seemingly analyzing several different pieces of technology in front of him, a slate over here, a little hologram projection on the table over there, and a woman sitting aside from him, simply poring over like charts and sets of stats and just muttering about something. And you also see, curiously, she has a frond of a fern that seems to be sitting there. She seems to have in a jar a couple of insects bouncing around. And she has in her hand what she's observing to be, you think it's some kind of mushroom, but you can't really tell. She seems to be muttering something to herself as she sets that down and starts to write. Of course, an empty bar, or, well, pretty much an empty bar. You're able to finally see that as Bravo goes, sort of disengages the weapon from her exosuit, hunks it down onto the ground, sits down, and just waves you over.
It would go and sit down.
And the bartender will look at you and just sort of do that slow head turn all the way back. What can I get you folks to drink?
What you got?
Anything and everything you could want. We have soda, sake, whiskey, beer, bourbon, water on tap, milk, apple juice.
I'll take some bourbon and a little bit of milk. Separate.
Right.
One for this, and one for mine.
Understandable. Bravo. And Bravo would simply order apple juice on the rocks. And she would sit there and sip it. In my opinion, it tastes much better than some of the drinks around here. Anyway,
Is the milk and bourbon there?
milk and bourbon are both there, yes.
Takes the milk, immediate shoves it into them and lets the faceplate drink it.
Yummy.
And
Is it
then
drinking or is it like loudly
it's
lapping
loudly
it? Ah,
she like
God.
she disconnects it while keeping it in the glass and sits it
Oh.
on the side. And continues doing it.
So you
Starts
disconnect your dog muzzle and then just sort of like shove it into the drink and set it off to the
Yeah, it
side.
keeps doing it. It keeps lapping as she starts sipping the bourbon.
And that's
with
all, like,
no lips.
Loud, and you like have to like sip it through your teeth pretty much. And the
Yeah.
familiar sting of alcohol is a refreshing change of pace for you,
Wonder.
as the nutrient paste and water that you were forced to consume definitely left you parched in a particular way.
Yeah, because she used to have to split the water between her and the face.
And coming from downstairs, you will see a person that definitely doesn't belong amongst these colonists.
Oh, sorry.
It seems that he's clad in colorful clothing, nerdy looking glasses, short hair. Seems to be carrying an Omni hook, which is like a big laptop, pretty much. He'll be typing away at something and just sort of groaning. And the individual on the table, which would be over, probably behind you and to your right at this point, looking over the projections and the slate off to his left, would notice this individual sort of lock in for a second. Then wave him over. As Shangyangy will... Unfortunately, Trevor is not here.
Not
This
true.
is what...
Trevor! Trevor!
Trevor's here.
Yeah.
Trevor, are you joining us?
Oh yeah.
Are
I'm
you,
here.
are you
I'm
free?
at home.
Oh, hell yeah.
You couldn't tell by the sound of his mic being on mute.
No, I'm obviously I heard it now, but you know.
Trevor!
The person
Surprise!
that waves you over,
Shangy's
sits-
here.
Yeah.
Shangyangy, the person that waves you over and sits you down, will point at your Omni hook, which is basically like a portable laptop. Say, you wouldn't happen to be connected to the OmniNet here, would you?
I was initially, but you know, the storm kind
Oh.
of killed it.
Ah, see, because you're still on the satellite version. That shit sucks. Here, we have better than fiber here, so let me just, do you mind if I see your Omni hook for a second?
Sure.
And he'll grab it and take a look at it. Ooh, looks like a new model. And sort of scroll through some of your things and just like go into your settings. Yeah, I see your problem. You're not on the right bandwidth for this. And he'll just tap a few things and turn a knob on the side of your Omni hook. There you go. You should be able to do whatever it was you're doing. That being said, now that I've done you a favor, might I know your name?
Yeah, you can just call me Shangyangy.
Shang? No, well, Shang. If we're using, I don't necessarily want to say fake name, but you know, my name is actually Yuki Wellington. But most people around here just call me Specs. Well, most of the engineers here, I won't fault them for their particular selection of education, but I am in need of someone with a little bit more of a technical bent.
Okay.
So I work infrastructure. You know, I help out patients, and I really do my best to keep the systems here running. I'm scientist class, of course, and well, I've noticed that in some of the drones, something's been a bit off lately. Some of the drones, some of the subalterns, some of the comcons, they seem to be having this repetitive glitch. They're all connected to the OmniNet, and every time I run a status report, I get the same thing over and over and over again. And I've been wondering, with the handy dandy little Omni hook of yours, if you couldn't go around and check some of these drones for me. Just check to see if they're doing anything odd, and then report back to me so I can feed some of this data and send it off to patients, see if we can't get some, well, proper updates or repairs put in. Not sure.
Okay, where are the drones at? Are they just like scattered around?
Oh, drones are all around. You can just find them. Just look around for them in Evergreen and just take a look, see if they're doing anything odd, unusual, repetitive, not useful to their selected task.
Okay.
Also, I'm not sure if it's related, but I have heard some rumors regarding, like, farms being overtaken by their own machines. I don't get outside the colony much, but you were out, and then you came back in. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
Well, we encountered something kind of like that. I don't really know what was going on.
Really?
Yeah, it's hard to explain.
Try me.
Well, there were these people there, these pilots,
Mm-hmm.
and then the subalterns were also there,
Mm-hmm.
and they all seemed like they wanted to kill us instead of farm,
Really?
like they do.
So they're farming you instead that were attacking you?
Yeah.
Fundamentally, they shouldn't be able to do that.
That's what you'd think.
Were they all doing the same thing at the same time, or was it chaos?
They were just kind of like grouped up together, just attacking whoever came close.
All together?
Yeah.
So if they're acting like a swarm like that, maybe something similar to a Nexus. But I mean, how do you even do that with groups of subalterns? Systems are way too complicated. The amount of processing power that you need to accomplish that is... you couldn't just do that with a cloud. You need something physical.
Well, I do have to tell you, we searched through some of the remains, and we found something. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's kind of like an ancient virus.
Really? I mean, how ancient are we talking here? Like a couple decades old? A couple centuries old?
I'm not even sure. Decades, 2 centuries.
Well, I don't want anything like that on my slate. But if you happen to have a copy of whatever this thing is and you decipher it, break it apart, seem to figure out what it does, if it can help out some of the drones and comcons here, I'd be very appreciative. And willing to offer my assistance in the future, of course.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. If I can figure my way around this thing.
I mean, would you open it up on your... or, like, try to safely open
if
on your
you wanted
Omni?
to see it, I could just, like, give them a little glimpse,
Right. You were cracking to the code behind this not sophisticated, this, basically it's like a blunt instrument of a virus. Opening it sort of like just running like an operating system on your operating system. Just give it like a safe shell to be in. And you open it up, and you don't get any form of idea of what it does because all of the text file that you see is too much for your Omni hook to handle. And you hear it eat up before it blank screens. And the only time that has ever happened to you is when you accidentally tried to transfer petabytes worth of information at once. And Trevor, go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Okay.
No. I'm just fine.
And Trevor, you blink. And all of a sudden, you're in another conversation.
What?
You're talking to a person whose name comes to you to be Dr. Iku Mariakato. She's a biologist, and she works on Evergreen and, by extension, Hercynia's localized flora, fauna, fungi, etc. And she's looking over some statistics, and you're sort of drawn out of the conversation for a moment, Shangyangy, because you just blinked, and it's like 5 minutes have passed in a second.
Oh, just gonna like put my hand on my forehead like I got a migraine. It's like, oh.
And Dr. Mariakato will stop and give you a look. Shangyangy, are you feeling all right?
I was?
Maybe you should go back up to the room that you mentioned that you had. You could still be acclimating to the humidity, sort of change of weather. Off-worlders usually have a sickness like this every now and then. But that was a great suggestion that you had. I can introduce you to Dr. Cecil. He's a, well, rather reclusive sort, but your proposed solution may help us crack why we're finding so few species in our research here. Thank you for the idea.
All right, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, Doc. I'm having a moment. Could you run the solution by me one more time?
On your idea?
Yeah.
Well, I do admit it does sound a little bit ridiculous in hindsight, but something along the lines of running an algorithm that could help us sort out what species are known and not known, and sort of using some of the comp-cons and sorting out sort of the genetic sequencing that we've done thus far, and being able to determine same matches and same different matches. And but you, I mean, I haven't seen you been drinking anything yet. You must not be feeling all right. You just told me this idea.
Like how long ago? Like just now? Like 5 minutes?
Yeah, like 3 minutes ago.
Oh.
All right, Shang. You have given me a lot to think about and a wonderful suggestion, and I will put you in contact with Dr. Cecil.
Okay.
So, just how about you go upstairs with the rest of your friends that you fill this in on, and just, get some rest. You'll need it, and I'm sure Patience has gotten in contact with already. Eyes and ears everywhere. So, I'm sure he's gonna have a fun chat and a couple of chores in store for you, but we can talk later.
Yeah, you know what? All right. That's a good idea. I'm gonna go rest a bit. Maybe that'll help.
And she'll nod and sort of slightly raise a drink in your direction. Feel better soon.
I'll just be like, mm-hmm.
No room for a wallflower. No room for a wallflower. And Shangyangy, you're halfway up the stairs before the man you were just talking to, Specs, comes back up to you and says, "Oh, Chingy, by the way, you left this on the table." And he hands you a small slip of paper, crumpled up, with something written on it.
All right, I'll try to uncrumple it and read it.
It's in your handwriting.
What does it say?
3002. It was you. Wonder why.
What is happening?
Shangy's on an acid trip from hell.
What the fuck?
That omnivirus hit different.
That omnivirus hit different.
I'm on that petabyte virus dark evil pack.
I must have amnesia. I forgot that I'm him.
I don't know.
Oh,
I turned you down to halfway and you're still bass boosted as shit.
I could get louder.
Please do not, my mom said at 3:50 a.m.
Here, let me lower my shit. There we go. Now I'm at 80% input volume on Discord.
Okay, cool.
so
Base
I'll stare at the
boosted.
note, squinting for like 8 seconds straight. And I'll just take the hint that something's not right. Maybe I hit my head. I'll just stuff it in my pocket. Continue my way back upstairs.
And all of you are going to get a chance to rest here. And what are you going to be doing in your downtime before all of you decide to contact patients?
I message.
Jim, I've read what you've sent me and will be responding to it
Excellent.
forthwith. I will DM you what information you find out.
Excellent.
I think in my downtime, I'm just going to be trying to decipher my own note. Maybe it was just a quote from some cool movie I saw. I don't know.
By the way, since you are now connected to the OmniNet, you can, in fact, stream.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh,
And post all of those VODs that you had recorded.
Yep, that's what I'm going to do. The second I get back to the room, I'm just going to post everything that I recorded. I'm going to upload that picture of the massive explosion, that selfie we took of the ship.
Notifications start flooding in. It's like, he's back, he's not dead.
This is like when Corey posts.
It's just like emotes just start like filling the chat.
This is like when Corey posted.
I suppose at some point during my downtime, I'd stumble my way down to the bar when it's not too filled and get a drink and just kind of sit there. And I'd take my silence pistol off my side and start taking it apart to field inspect it before putting it back together.
Bro is sitting in a public bar and disassembling a firearm.
Yeah.
And as
Bro
you
is actually just Solid Snake.
you just drop the clip, make sure you clear the chamber, make sure there's no bullet in there, look
Yeah.
it over, and then you just begin to methodically disassemble it. It's sort of like it's not really a creaking noise. You meticulously maintain your firearm. You're sort of slowly screwing off the suppressor. And as you're doing that, you hear a strange, like, noise. Like a sort of a strange, like, licking or clicking noise.
Ew,
and you
I didn't
stop
know any of
unscrewing.
what just happened.
You stop unscrewing your suppressor, and you realize it's definitely not coming from your firearm. And you look to the right, and you see a dog's mouth with its nose shoved into a reservoir of milk that is slowly draining as this disembodied mouth is lapping up the liquid. And not too far away, you see a person without a nose and without any lips to speak of, slowly sipping some nice, hard, I believe, bourbon. Great bourbon.
And upon seeing that, the whiskey glass that is sitting in front of Boss, he just... It's one of those days, I see. And he just picks it up, taps it against the bar before downing all of it.
Whenever the milk is gone, she puts the bottle back on.
And right after you throw back that alcohol and set it down, you see this individual with no nose and no lips grab the dog muzzle. It's covered in milk out of the bowl, the cracking noise as she just like snaps it back on. And it's a fully functioning dog's mouth. It's like licking its lips trying to get rid of the rest of the milk. And you're just... Suddenly you need more to drink.
Yeah.
All ready to go.
I think at this point I need tequila.
Where's my tequila? Where's my martini?
Sitting at the bar. Wouldn't the milk be hurt?
And at this point, Hadra has finished her drink and laughed. Her whole goal was to get you here. And now you're here. 1, 2, 3 seats away. There's a man disassembling a silenced pistol who seems particularly perturbed by your body modifications. Stops, sets down his gun, and throws back his alcohol in response to your wonderful abilities.
You like my appearance that much?
You are not the strangest person I've seen, but you are definitely out there.
But I'm leaving a mark and I see.
Can't just say that to people.
We live in a time where body modifications are all over the place, Delaney. Get over yourself.
No, this, as far as body modifications go, this is the weirdest shit you have ever seen. You have heard of people installing like tertiary arms and like screwing them into their spine for better instantaneous control. You've seen exosuits. You've seen armor-plated subdermal body modifications. You have never seen a dog's mouth attached to a human being except in these strangest Omninet VODs.
She twists her barstool and crosses her legs.
And then you see her legs. Digitigrade legs.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
a dog.
I expected that.
Clicking. Mechanical. She doesn't have meat legs, so to speak. Just metal ones. You suddenly start to question how much of this woman is body mod and how much is actual human being.
I mean, bits and pieces of the leg are organic. There's patches of fur. Some of them twitch.
I have to ask.
Can make something for the right price.
What? I didn't even hear you.
See something you like, I can make something for you for the right price.
A very
And she
strange.
kind of raises an eyebrow.
This is a very strange conversation.
Well, if you see a body modification or have something you think is impossible, I can try to make it to the best of my abilities. I seem to be doing pretty good for myself, and then the tongue licks the nose and goes back in.
That's a fair point. And So I've kept this hidden, and it's mostly because it's covered by info skin, so it looks human. And
Mm-hmm.
he'd pull off this info skin glove on his right hand,
Hmm.
Mhm.
as you'd see a mechanical hand.
Wow. So you got some freaky digits of your own.
Sadly, losing an arm is the most tame thing that's happened to me, but
You want to know the most tame thing that's happened to me? And she kind of like is tapping the side of her dog face.
is it the face?
Yeah.
So, just to give you an idea, like you've seen Dogcatcher's art. That dog, like the muzzle and nose and teeth, that's not a mask. That's a fully functioning mouth. Like fur, teeth, nose, slobber, and all.
Where the hell even is that again,
It
just so
is
I can see it?
disturbingly realistic.
It's in the pilot roster.
Is it in the pilot
It's
roster?
organic.
All organ. Completely again. Tune.
I strive myself on mixing mech with the organic to make it as real and tangible as possible. I could do the same for your digits right there. And she kind of like points. Got a favorite animal?
Bro just said you want a fursuit? I can make you one.
And Boss just kind of points to the insignia on his arm. I'm quite fond of the wolf and canine species.
I see. I got some extra ones.
The question is, can I hold a gun with them?
I can fix that. I can give it an opposable phone.
This is like a dog ball with an opposable thumps.
Plus, I got some extra bits. It'll work. For the right price. Unless you don't want an opposable phone and you just want to be able to polish shit all day.
I think for the time being, I'll stick to my mechanical hand.
I got a schedule out and fit you in for a consultation.
And
I
you,
love her.
your earpiece painfully rings in your right ear for a second, boss. As someone unauthorized patches into your headset. And eventually the ringing goes away. You just sort of, maybe like reflexively, you might just like sort of grunt in pain a little bit. But that tinnitus inducing, sort of piercing sound will cease. As you hear a feminine voice speak to you. Oh, believe me, she's quite good at what she does. I've seen it myself.
And Boss just kind of puts his hand on his earpiece. And you are?
I am. Well, wouldn't you like to introduce yourself first, dear?
Would you like my actual name or my code name?
Oh, I wasn't talking to you.
No.
You, dear. And you'll hear, like, you'll feel a hand on your right shoulder sort of push you over towards Boss.
Oh,
Would you like to introduce yourself?
my name is Elliot. Or as they call me, Dogcatcher.
We're from off-world, you see, and, well, we're looking for a little bit of something to do. And, well, I happened to notice that your group coming in and, patient's offering you a job right off the bat. You know, he threw us in jail.
Oh.
Like being in prison. We were there for 3 days. Dreadful.
Yeah, it was pretty horrible. Nutrient paste and water.
Nutrient paste and water. Terrible.
I've been there before.
Oh, really? Well, it's good that we find someone that's sympathetic to our plight. So, let's see. I can read your biomonitor and figure out your name. Oh, looks like you're... Well, your call sign's boss, your pilot registration. Oh, very interesting. So you drive an Everest. Oh, and... Oh, you have a friend in your Everest. You think your friend would like to have a conversation with us?
And I just kind of click the communication watch on my arm. Otacon.
Terrifying.
And Otacon is only able to speak through the watch, not being allowed on the earpiece. Yes, I'm having some trouble connecting. Is someone patched in and butting me out?
There is indeed someone that has hijacked my earpiece.
Oh, I can fix that. And you hear sort of like a scratching noise as it seems like the communication channel is getting kind of crowded. And you hear Otacon just sort of patchily coming in. Excuse me, this is a private channel that you have intruded your way into. Oh, is that so? Oh, I'm so dreadfully sorry. And mute. Right, as I was saying.
That's rude.
Oh, fuck.
Why did all NHPs have more power than Otacon? What is this shit?
Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't tell you Otacon's response yet. Your earpiece just turns off. Otacon went with the nuclear option, and it seems that they're having a side conversation now.
Oh, shit.
As your communication with your NHP also cuts off. As it seems Otacon has quite literally dragged them both into a private call.
And you hear Dogcatcher's just like, hello? Hello? Well, sorry about that.
I see you have a friend too.
Sad sometimes when there's some new folks. Just as I do, you know. Yeah, exactly. You get it.
Yeah, happens to the
Yeah,
best
she
of
tends
us.
to be really excited. Sorry about that.
I don't particularly
Now, what's
mind,
your
but I
name?
don't know about Otacon. My code name is Boss. My name is Rex.
Nice to meet you, Rex. And she sticks out her hand. And her hands are normal. Promi.
And I reach out to shake her hand. Nice to meet you. Elliot, was it?
Yeah, my name's Elliot.
Nice to meet you.
They call me the Dogcatcher. For obvious reasons. I call it myself, didn't I?
I suppose
And it
that's
seems like
fair.
fun. And then she very gently kind of boops the little badge on the side of your jacket. It's like, seems I've caught another one too.
Apparently so.
Well, I know my little friend was talking about you got a job of sorts? Would you mind if I jump on that bandwagon a bit? I'm a little bored and I'd love something to do.
And the two of you will share the particulars of everything you understand so far over some more spirits. Zayden,
Yo.
you hear the sliding metal door as Shangyangy returns to his room, and a little bit of loud exultation as he finally manages to reconnect and is able to post some of his VODs. You are sitting in your room, trying to rest before the job ahead. And the second you close your eyes and everything seems to fade out, you hear a droning noise. You know the sound of fluorescent light bulbs?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Noise, the buzzing.
Mm-hmm.
You start to hear that, and your eyes just open as you're laying down. Something's making noise in your room.
Could it be the light?
It's not the light. Your lights are off. You're trying to sleep.
Oh.
Shutters are closed. Everything in your room should be off, but you hear that buzzing noise. That infuriating fucking buzzing noise.
Can I tell where it's coming from, or is it just everywhere?
You stumble around your room in the dark a little bit, stub your toe.
Oh.
Sorry, I showed Joseph something really funny.
You stub your toe and you flick on the lights. Maybe see if you can't find something in your room, and there's nothing. In fact, as soon as you turn on the lights, vexingly the sound disappears.
Uh-oh.
Can I turn the lights back off again and see if the sound comes back?
You turn the lights off and the sound comes back.
Okay. Because that
Yes, of
makes
course.
sense.
The frustration is starting to build a little bit. You sort of feel the sort of beginning stages, like little burning pinpricks of anger. But it's just a shoddy old room in an inn. Who cares?
Okay. I mean, there's not really much else for me to do other than just try and go back to sleep, I guess.
And you lay down, try to go back to sleep, catch something of a nap, before all of you have a conversation with Patience. And something's wrong. The buzzing noise continues, but fuck it, you get used to it. But you close your eyes, and every time you're about to fall asleep, every muscle in your body tenses and you shoot up. You maybe catch a couple of seconds of sleep at a time. It feels like your body is on high alert, like it's anticipating something bad is about to happen.
Well, I guess no sleep. Sleep's for the weak.
No, sleep, good, okay.
Oh, god damn it.
You're welcome.
And you'll get up and maybe turn the lights back on. Everything in your room is the exact same as it was before. It's not like anything is in here shifting anything around. There's quite literally no reason for you to be so on edge. You just don't understand why. Of course, it doesn't help that you don't have the faintest memory of who you are, were, or who you're supposed to be, for that matter. You know you're damn good at piloting a mech, though. And that's how you've survived thus far. Scrape together more than enough mana to keep yourself afloat. Of course, something that you've never mentioned to any of your, let's call them partners, for being generous, is the terrible feeling of waking up, looking in the mirror, and seeing someone completely different from who you were expecting. Seeing a stranger's face in a stranger's body looking right back at you. The very form that you are in, feeling fundamentally incongruent with who you are as a person. You just have the distinct feeling that the body you are in is not yours. And it never has been, and it never will be. All right.
I don't know what to say to that one.
And sometimes it gets like this, where you tense up for no reason at all and just have to sort of wait until you manage to calm down. Hot baths generally don't help. Nothing helps. But for all the annoyance that it has caused you, it is precisely this ingrained muscle memory and this subconscious understanding of hazards that has kept you alive, saved your skin many a times. Like looking at a job description that didn't quite look right. Another team of garbage men are sent out to deal with it, and it turns out, ooh, a squad wipe. How terrible. How unfortunate. If only they had read a little further into the dossier. Of course, you didn't really read that far into it either. You just can look at a job and tell that it's going to go south if you went on it. For no other reason simply than it just looks wrong to you. You can't explain it, even if you tried. And here you are now, sitting at the foot of your bed, having tried to go to sleep, having failed, gotten rather annoyed with that incessant fucking buzzing. You just flip your lights back on, and you sit there, by yourself. That is, unless you want to do something else.
I mean, I really don't know what else there is to do.
Plenty. What do you want your character to do?
Does my character know if Shangyangy is in his room?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
If you press your ear to the wall, you'd be able to hear him.
Great. Can we get together and discuss this virus thingy that we found? Because Shangyangy got to do something with it earlier, but Zayden hasn't really looked into it other than when he downloaded it onto his Mac.
Sure. Shaggy. You get an impatient knock on your door.
I'll just look up from the little laptop like, And then I'll go answer it.
Metal door slides open, and you see a disgruntled-looking Zayden.
You look happy, Zayden.
Very. We need to talk about this virus thing that we found.
Yeah, it's interesting.
How so? Have you looked at it yet?
Kinda. This weird guy was talking to me about some stuff, and I tried to show it to him, and it just kind of, I think it crashed my Omni hook.
You think it crashed it?
It seemed like it.
Well, it either crashed it or it didn't.
Yes, it did.
Of course, you're not some kind of plebeian Shangyangy. You have multiple computers. Some are literally attached to you. You always have a way to stream. Always.
Screen! Move left, screen.
Matt, are we cooked?
Chat,
Chat, we may be
Chat, are we-
cooked.
chat, where are we?
Yeah, what's going on?
I was actually gonna do something like that.
Chat, where are we? Chat, who here in chat plays GeoGuessr? Where are we?
Chat, I woke up in this weird place.
Chat, what's going on?
But yeah. So I'll tell Zayden whatever it is I know about it, how it operates and whatnot. Well, from what I can understand.
You know, as soon as you tried to load it up on your Omni hook, it turned it into a paperweight.
Is it still like that?
You haven't tried to turn it on since.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do that.
Click a little button onto the side. The Omni hook will wheeze as internal fans spin and then die.
Oh well, you see it for yourself?
The virus did that?
Yep.
Well,
The blue shadow virus.
better you than me, I guess.
Thanks. Well,
Well,
that's all right.
To be fair, you have a lot more of those than I do.
Yeah, I was about to say I got some pawns to spare. I didn't need that one.
A line of text appears on the Omni hook.
Oh.
It's in a font that is not native to the operating system. You don't recognize it at all or what it might be. A single line of text.
I'm going to take a picture with another device.
It's just the fucking Wojak point again. Just
And then I'm gonna send it out to some of my high tier subs and ask them to decipher it. I'm gonna use word on the street.
alrighty.
Word on the street is if you decipher this, you get a year's worth of subscription time.
For free.
Yeah.
The,
It would be really cool if someone played a Lance character that was a Twitch streamer and they actually streamed it on Twitch and had the chat actually interact with the character.
That would be cool.
It would be very cool and very hip. Trevor, get on there.
Trevor,
I
Trevor,
really did.
start streaming.
You want me to? I have it set up.
Ah yes, Lancer. The only place where we can have a cult leader, a Twitch streamer, someone that doesn't remember who they are, a military soldier, and a dog together in a party.
Got that dog in.
Wow.
Got
Bow wow.
Yeah,
Clues. I can point you in the right direction. I'll leave my book.
honestly, I'd say that the Twitch streamer is the most normal out of everyone.
Even more normal than a father and his daughter.
You're a cult leader. You don't count as normal.
I'm just a
Thank you
I'm
very
just
much.
a soldier. Don't mind me.
I thought my computer was about to crash out.
Made the virus real.
Nah, it was just this fucker telling me I need to update my OneDrive again. I don't even have OneDrive.
You know, it always tells me to do that, but it's up to date, so I don't know what it's talking about.
I don't even have a OneDrive. I have
Yeah, that makes
zero
even
clue
less
what it's
sense.
talking about.
Like,
It tried to get me to update to Windows 11 again earlier when I booted it up. It's like, you should update before support for Windows 10 ends. I'm like, no, I don't want to. And then it's like, are you sure? I'm like, I don't want to update to Windows 11. Leave me alone.
mine tells me to, but then it tells me that I can't because my PC's not good enough.
Oh, yeah,
Same.
you have to do something to it. Because I had to do that. I had to do something to mine to make it compatible. And then I just never got Windows 11. I just wanted to prove to myself that I could go in and fix it.
Oh,
And I did.
I didn't know you could do that. I thought you
Yeah.
were just saying I need new parts.
No, I just Googled it and
Oh.
was able to do it. Because it told me what was wrong with it, why it couldn't update. And so I just Googled how to fix that and did it.
Huh.
I had to, like, go into some fucking weird ass interior settings of the computer. It was weird. I thought I was gonna fuck something up tremendously. I didn't, thankfully. But it was a near thing.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do all that.
Yeah, I honestly thought I was gonna have to call my uncle and get him to, like, he didn't fucking hack into it, but it's like he could control my PC from his house. He's like my unpaid tech support.
All right. So lines of text appear on the screen of this OmniHub. And most of it seems to be garbage. Random words strung together in an order that is not consistent with an understanding of language. But, like a bunch of monkeys thrown into a room with a typewriter, every so often it manages to produce a sentence, as lines and more lines begin to fill the screen of the OmniHook. And it almost seems poetic for a moment. It seems to write about revenge. About 10,000 swords raised against the sun. The march of countless against the foul and the alien.
Do you hear the cat?
Talks of assured victory.
Hear anything but the fucking cat meowing in the background.
It's the
Sorry,
fucking
Aaron.
Break in.
Talking about the guns and shit was
For
5 minutes.
help!
And then you
No,
said
he
it,
just wants to come in.
quick, like in my hand. Like, dude, I was holding it in. That was me. Holding it in does not. Sorry.
And then the OmniHook dies once more.
Yay.
You might need more processing power. To put it short, the processing power that can only be produced by your mech.
Okay.
Oh.
Just
Well,
put
that
a
sounded interesting.
put a mech brain in your laptop. That'll be fine.
Or
I
we could
mean-
just take it to one of our mechs.
Yeah, just go plug it in with my little mech USB.
Yeah, I call not it. We're putting it in yours.
That's fair.
And your Chomolungma could easily deal with it. You know,
Let's do that.
it's essentially like it's like a compact server attached to a cold state nuclear reactor.
Nuclear fusion
It should be
device.
pretty powerful.
Well, I'm not getting any sleep anytime soon. I vote we go do this now.
Yeah, get it out the way, you know.
And both of you will get dressed once more and head back to the hangar. And you see the most peculiar thing. boss making friends with a dog.
Oh, wow.
The two of them seem to be 3, 4 glasses of spirits deep and talking first details and then experience with mercenary work.
Hell yeah.
Seems they're getting along really well, actually.
Look, the silence pistol's
Neither-
still on the
neither
bar
of you-
counter.
Neither of your NHPs have gotten back yet,
What
so
the fuck?
it is
What the fuck?
blissfully quiet in both of your earpieces.
I don't think I've been away from her for this long before. It's kind of crazy.
I'm sure Otacon's giving her an earful.
Probably, but she's probably giving whoever the Octagon an earful too.
Octagon! I would not be surprised. She seems like the type.
Yeah, no, she can be a lot sometimes, but I kind of like.
I love how Boss is like slowly transitioning
Yeah, I'm losing the boss voice and becoming southern.
Southern on Southern understanding, Southern on Southern communication.
Yeah, she can be a lot, but you know, she just wants what's best for me, so I try to listen.
That's understandable.
Yeah. Sometimes it gets to a moment where I'm like, "What in tarnation?" And then I just kind of turn back around and we have a conversation. And I just kind of mosey. It takes another fucking sway. Like the tongue just goes lap lap lap. She's just like, so.
And yeah, Shangy, Zayden, both of you are at the bottom of the stairs, and you're just watching this conversation happen. And for a second, Shangy, you're like, you know, this is normal. You blacked out for a few minutes while still being awake and talking, so maybe this is a hallucination. Zayden, you have to like rub your eyes for a moment. And yeah, that's a person. You think? They have a dog mouth
Like grips the bar stool.
and like dog, like vaguely mechanical with some patches of fur. Dog feet. And they're drinking whiskey with a fully functional, fully organic dog mouth.
Yep. All right. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Let's leave boss to it. Shangy, let's go before they see us.
Oh, yeah, all right. Okay, yeah, sure.
The question is, do we hear Zayden say that?
Probably. you know the sound of your own teammates.
And I just look over my shoulder. If you're trying to sneak around someplace, maybe be fucking quiet?
Oh, we're not sneaking. We're just avoiding you.
Who are these guys?
No, please let me leave.
No, you're stuck here for a minute.
Immediately licks off the muzzle.
Zayden actually says that out loud.
Please let me
Yeah, no.
leave.
Whether you want this conversation or not, Dog Woman rips the mouth off of her
Puts
face,
it around her belt loop and it keeps drooling.
pulls off the slobbering mouthpiece and sets it aside while it's still alive and drooling, and you just see no nose, no lips, just teeth. Giving you a very disturbing, permanent smile.
Are you some
Oh
friend?
no, I don't want to be here. Oh no.
I like those pearly whites.
Appreciate it.
I'll say, what's your name?
No, don't.
No! Don't interact with the
No, don't start a conversation, Jake,
You
please.
don't have a choice.
I think at this point, Zayden's got like a death grip on Shangy's arm, like trying to suddenly pull him away. It's like, please, I don't want to talk to this person.
Did you ask her name? Did you ask her name?
Shaggy!
Yes.
Yes.
They call me Dogcatcher, but I go by Elliot too to people who I think are interested.
Oh, okay. Well, why do they call you the
Sorry to
dog?
tell you that we are not interesting whatsoever at all, so we're just gonna go.
Oh, soon.
Well, you seem like an eager beaver to leave. Why's that?
things to do. We've got we lost an old man. Yeah, we gotta go find an old man.
Good at sniffing people out, and
I'm
she kind of
told
taps her
too.
side by the dog muzzle. You got something of this? I can take a little sniff and maybe track a scent.
Oh,
Oh, do we?
no, we're
I'm really good at it. It's pretty efficient. That's why I made it that way. For tracking people down.
That sounds like a threat.
So,
Boss was going to go find the old man. So why don't you talk to him about that?
Well, actually, they've asked if they might be able to accompany us on our work for patients.
She puts the
Oh.
muzzle back on
Really?
and starts panting.
Just like, really?
It's like a happy dog smile, panting like.
God.
Oh,
Have you agreed to this?
I haven't agreed to anything yet. I was going to ask
I
you
love
two
how.
first.
So I guarantee you, the one thing going through Zayden's mind is, why do I get stuck with all the freaks?
No, that's exactly it.
I'd love to accompany you on your little journey. I'm quite bored, and I'm looking for some people to hang around with. I've been alone for about 3 days. How fucking was it?
3 days now, 7 hours.
3 days, 7 hours, 23 minutes, and 48 seconds, and counting. It's up to 53 seconds now.
Wow. Good for you.
It's like the worst social interaction. Like,
I think Dogcatcher is.
I'm going out of my way to make Zayden as socially awkward as possible.
Just because Zayden wants nothing to do with Dog Lady.
No, Zayden's just socially awkward in general. But he is not comfortable at all with what's happening. Like those social anxiety is bad enough as it is, and it's just like skyrocketing.
The tongue's out the side of the mouth, just moving up.
Oh,
yep.
oh,
I'd be scared, honestly.
I am scared.
the real question is chat seeing this?
Well,
Through your Google glasses?
yeah, let's say that. Well,
Chat-
no, I had the little drone that follows
Wild.
me.
Put up a poll. Does dog woman come with you?
Yeah, well, as much as Boss would love to have you join us, we can't
Well, how
actually,
Yeah.
we can't. We have to put it to a vote, and we don't have one of our members here at the moment. I don't know where they are.
And then you find your member.
I'm
What?
sure Crow wouldn't mind.
Well, we have to wait for them, because we're a team, and we don't make decisions without having the input of others. Right,
Well,
Boss?
doesn't travel alone.
And Shangyangy, you don't have much to say because chat is filled with not only donations, but also just row after row of new party member, new party member, new party member. Sounds are being spammed like
Chat's just celebrating.
Chat's going
Great.
absolutely crazy. It's like dog woman, dog woman, dog woman, dog woman.
I'm gonna just look over at Zayden and be like, "Chat's eating it up, Zayden. It's hard to say no."
I have to do it for the views. I have to do it for the view.
It's what chat wants. It's what the audience craves.
And Zayden's just flabbergasted.
We can't reject chat.
And now the
You
best
can
part.
reject chat. I can.
Now the best part. We will fast forward to all of you sitting in comfortable leather seats.
What?
Zayden, you are sitting in the middle of Dogcatcher on your right,
Oh.
Boss on your left. Smack dab in the middle of all the freaks. And there's an empty desk in front of all of you with a chair that's already been pulled out.
Zayden's close to tears.
A little drool. A little drool.
You hear the it's dead silent in the room, other than the occasional like dripping noise of slobber.
And just fucking like heavy breathing.
Slobber on the leather seats.
I will say now that I've actually pointed out, Boss has a mechanical hand, and it's back in its info skin covering. The mechanical core in it, you can occasionally just hear it whirling.
So it's like the whirring sound of Boss's arm drip, drip. You hear a mechanical clock ticking. This is the most uncomfortable you have ever been in your entire life.
Yeah, normally Zayden is like sitting in a weird way, like with his legs like up against his chest or just like slouched over. No, Zayden is upright, posture straight, stiff as a fucking board. Just so uncomfortable. He wants to leave so badly.
So what's your name?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Dog. Zayden.
Nice to meet you, Zayden.
Yeah.
If you didn't catch it, my name's Elliot. You can call me Elliot. I think you're somewhat interesting with your funny little posture and your tendency to be socially awkward. I think it's quite silly.
Wow, thanks. I appreciate that so much.
I've never seen someone as awkward as you. It must be a talent. And she's being dead set genuine. Wide-eyed and everything. She's being genuine. She's not even saying this as an insult.
Wow. Thank you. I can't tell if that's sarcasm or not, but sure.
It's a feat, honestly.
Great.
I wish I could be that awkward sometimes to avoid social interaction.
Well, it didn't work to avoid shit, now did it? So...
Whatever do you mean, Zayden?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
See, just like that, and you avoid the subject. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And she like takes her human hand and scratches the muzzle.
You see dandruff coming off of it.
Yep.
Time for a music change.
I knew you were looking for something, so I was like, let me make conversation. I like your jacket, Zayden. It's quite red.
Yep.
It's hard for dogs to see red. Did you know that? Fun fact.
Nope, did not. Certainly didn't.
Did you know one of my eyes is a dog eye?
How did you manage that?
Well,
How did you
I'm
manage?
joking with you. I'm joking with you.
I'm glad you asked. Let me go on a 30-minute long rant about it.
God, it's just Metal Gear Solid! No!
Let me give you 30 minutes of exposition on the history of dog eyes.
Yeah, no, my eye's not a dog eye. I'm just messing with you.
Back
Zayden.
when the world was divided between East and West, in the era known
I will
as the
kill
Cold
you,
War.
Waylon. I will kill you. I will kill you.
And before the beautiful conversations can boil over to someone dying, the door behind each of you, so the person coming in the room is completely out of sight, opens and shuts. And it's like all the rest of the sound in the room suddenly goes away as it's silent again, and this person walks confidently astride and heels. As a woman strides up to this desk, places a binder on it,
Binder?
and then walks around, sits down in the chair with an air of authority and command. And gives a look at all of you. So sort of blink and look to the left. Go over to the right. Two of your number are missing. Where are they?
Ew.
We When it comes to Crow, I'm not exactly certain where they are at the moment. And I don't know where Jim is either.
Oh, Jim's not with us. Well, he is. But not voluntarily.
And you hear another voice come out of nowhere. Low and slow drawl. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. Mr. Pickens has already been well accommodated. He's at the governor's farm at the moment, enjoying some quality time with, I think he said something along the lines of his daughter. And none of you know where that voice is coming from, but the woman who came in the room will tap something on the desk and a hologram projection will glow into life at the right hand side of the desk. And I can now show you guys a little bit of what this meeting looks like, essentially. At least from the splat book.
Is it map change time?
Not map change time. I'm just going to send this picture to the Discord.
Make sure you show it in the recording, Waylon.
Yeah, obviously. Thank you, Delaney. Thank you.
Oh my god! Don't fucking snap at me! Damn! I was just making sure!
Fucking
Damn!
I didn't see it as snapping. I was just being sarcastic. My bad.
Take
My
that
bad.
fucking fruit out already!
There you go. It's in the Lancer General and memes.
I was just trying to be sarcastic. Damn.
The individual on the left, the blue one, that would be Patience's projection. And the individual on the right will introduce herself as an Adina G. And Adina will let Patience do all the talking as he begins in his manner of speaking. It is, to my understanding, that the leader of our militia brought most of you, glance over at Dogcatcher, most of you, into, well, have a bit of a meeting. It is to my understanding that each of you are licensed mech pilots. And quite competent at that. That is why I would like to offer each of you, being mercenaries, of course, that all of you are, a job, a way to help our fledgling colony.
And what would this job entail?
Of course, it's completely optional, I'll have you know. But if you do choose to help us, you will see improvements in your quality of life here, and most importantly, full access to all of our printers to outfit your chassis with whatever they may need. Any repairs will be done free of charge. Modifications withstanding.
Sounds pretty helpful to me. All this goddamn southern drawl.
It's activating the southern fucking sleeper agent in you.
As a welcome. That's gonna be my fault. And I'm gonna keep doing it too.
I just wanna throw out there, this entire fucking time, every time you talk as Elliot, I can't think of anyone but fucking Nico from Devil May Cry. Especially with all the technical talk you were doing when you first met Boss. My first thought was, that's fucking Nico! And now I can't stop comparing it in my head. You don't I know you don't even know who that is, but Waylon knows, and that's why he laughed.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I just wanted to put that out there. Your character reminds me of Nico.
Slay. Does that
Continue
mean
on.
I'm doing a good job?
Yeah, Nico's a great character. I love her.
Right. I love Elliot. I love Elliot.
Elliot scares me.
She's a freak as always.
Elliot scares me.
Elliot's interesting.
Elliot's terrifying.
What?
Boss is no stranger to animal-like people. But yes, what exactly would our job entail?
Yeah, it's a good question. I like that one. I like that question. Oh.
Now that we're getting down to the nitty gritty of business, I'm sure each of you may have heard some mentions of bugs, eggs, perhaps the full term spoken, egregorians.
Haven't heard the full term, just bugs and eggs.
We heard any of that?
Yeah.
Short forms of egregorian. You have any questions about the details regarding these, well, egregorians, you may ask, and I'll answer to the best of my ability.
So do we just gotta kill him?
We'll get to that.
All right.
What exactly are they?
To my knowledge, it's some old term. If I had to guess, a cult. Or it's some other sort of ancient mystic jargon. Something about a corporate or holistic thought structure.
I'm so tired of
Um,
cults.
Some of the older colonists that you may talk to, well, they think that these problems that we're having may be related to these egregorians. Or their worshippers or cultists. Something along those lines.
You
Interesting.
guys call them bugs. Are they
We
human?
do.
Are they insect? What are they?
Well, from what I could find on the particular term of egregorians and a small amount of research I was able to conduct with one of the resident scientist classes here in Evergreen, paper I examined indicated that these egregorians, the term may be more advanced than some kind of cult. Said it could be an old species that used to dominate the planet. Long extinct now, I assure you. But it seemed whatever these creatures were, they were capable of rudimentary communication and, well, the ability to craft crude tools. Not sentient, of course, eusocial, like ants.
What's this extinct species you're talking about?
I believe that to be connected to this egregorian term, and that whoever these people, as I believe them to be, are, seem to worship them in some capacity, or wish to extract some sort of vengeance for their extinction or the reclamation of their land.
But they're dead. They can't do anything because they're dead to
Precisely.
the ground.
Precisely. Which is why I think it's people that are perpetuating these attacks, not some alien bug species.
All right.
So it's these exact people that I need all of you to deal with.
Kill him?
Do whatever you must to keep them from interfering from the growth and progress of this colony. At the end of the day, my design, my particular function, necessitates that Evergreen must grow, Evergreen must develop, Evergreen must survive. And these Egregorians, whoever they might be, threaten that survival. And the lives, safety, and happiness of my people. So I'm asking each of you to step in and deal with our little bug problem.
Hey guys, Vinny speaking here. I don't like how that sounds.
Sure. Yeah, no, I don't either.
What?
Dogcatcher,
I don't like how determined he was when he said, Evergreen must, yeah.
yeah, I didn't like how Joseph looked when he was saying that either.
Oh, and you have in-person confirmations.
Oh, even better.
Oh, goody.
Oh, even better.
He didn't say anything, I just didn't like how his eyes were looking at me.
Good to know.
The Southern's coming out.
I think we'll have to put that one on a maybe.
I think we should have some time to discuss amongst ourselves before we confirm or deny anything.
But guys, we're just like killing people for free. Isn't that like, what do you do?
I assure you
no,
that it's not for free. May I reiterate, of course, that all of you will be heavily compensated for your assistance in the matter.
Yeah, we
And
don't
I
kill people
assure
for
you-
free. We get paid.
And I assure you that there is more than just this colony at stake.
Well, I just meant free of consequence, but alright.
There are farms that are outside of my official capacity.
Oh.
Due to that being the case, I do not directly maintain communication with them. But I do believe that they are also threatened by these egregorians. So it's not just Evergreen that you'd be saving by dealing with our little bug problem. Countless other lives, other farms, other people that could really use your help.
I don't like this, guys.
I still want to know where the distress beacon came from. Was that ever confirmed?
Oh, when you guys landed, when you hit the ground,
Running.
that distress beacon was coming from a farm surrounded by those crazy subalterns and mechs that you liberated. As soon as you finished with that, the distress beacon ceased, and you weren't able to pick up anything else. But Union didn't send you here to this planet called Hercynia to fix that problem, or that particular distress beacon. They were talking about something else.
So there's some other completely different distress beacon?
Not just a distress beacon, but there's something going on this planet. And I'll remind you back to session 1, something else nobody covered in the notes. They mentioned that a particular corporation is involved on this planet. The Smith Shimano Corporation, or SSC.
Don't they
Own
kidnap people?
a colony
Are they?
on this planet
Oh.
that is requesting assistance with a particular matter. That is where the distress beacons come from. Evergreen is the source of that distress beacon, as far as you
So
can tell.
this is the dude that contacted the Union?
Most likely. Union was rather sparse on the details of who sent them the request in the first place.
Most
With all the
likely.
information-
I would like to get that confirmed before
Yeah,
we agree to do a completely different job
was-
than the job that we were sent here to do.
I was just about to ask that question to him, Delaney.
Oh, okay, then you do it, because Zayden doesn't want to speak up.
If I may ask you a question, Mr. Patient.
Everyone's Southern now.
God damn,
God.
Colonel. Colonel.
What?
If I may, if I Colonel is the vocal stem that triggers the snake voice.
All right.
Colonel, if I may, Mr. Patience, were you the one that sent the Union to the stress beacon?
And Patience will consider that for a few seconds, carefully choosing his words. No. I did not send out any distress beacon of any kind.
Great.
And this time, the woman that is next to him, Adina, as she introduced herself to me, she will speak up. When the last shuttle arrived here, I put in a request for a maintenance crew to come. They were simply going to come from off-world and provide auxiliary printers to help keep our city in optimal conditions. The fact that you intercepted that, or well, rather, the fact that Union intercepted that is most disturbing and a violation of company protocol and our privacy as an independent colony on a diasporan planet.
What company are you talking about?
Did you really ask that?
What?
Did you ask that?
Yeah.
She'll look at you, stare you in the eyes. Why, I would be referring to Landmark Colonial. Any other questions? I'd be happy to answer.
I don't like this lady.
I am a representative for them here on Evergreen, after all.
Are
I'm confused. We weren't sent here to bring auxiliary printers.
we were quite literally just passing by in orbit, and we were
I was in prison.
given a random call from
Wait,
Union.
Did you actually say that? Did you just randomly lore drop?
Yes.
I was in prison!
I think Zayden will side eye and then try to scoot just a tad bit closer to boss.
Swords.
Alright.
Sorry, continue.
Continue what you were saying, boss, please.
We had when we got the message to come down here, we were simply passing over orbit to carry on with our previous job. But then we were randomly smacked with a Union distress call telling us to come down here and make contact with a colony of some kind.
And her frown on her face will slightly deepen. Her eyebrows just sort of drop for a moment. I see. Union is meddling in our business. Well, that's to be expected. They have a habit of... What's the term? For lack of turn of phrase. Sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. Well, this is not surprising. In any case, that's not something that any of you need to worry about. The groups carrying the auxiliary printers will be here in, at the latest, 1 to 2 cycles. Nothing, again, to concern yourselves with. You may run into them, but your jobs are completely separate.
Well, I don't know.
If we were to accept, would we get immediate access to the printers?
I suppose I can permit you level 1 access to the printers. To fashion any repairs, of course, that you need to bring your mechs back to fully operational capacity. As well, if you desire to print any arms or armaments to supply your mechs with the necessary firepower you need to deal with these raiders and pirates. As they call themselves, egregorians. Then you will have access to every single printer in our disposal to achieve the creation of such means to rid ourselves of this pest.
Okay, question, Joseph.
So from going, yeah. Oh.
Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
With level 1 access to the printers, could we print new mechs?
Yeah, you can print up to size 1 mechs.
So we could print our license level 2 mechs should we have them.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I'll just let you know, out of game, they have up to size 2 printers there.
Oh, that's cool.
So you could print up to a size 2 mech. Or take like an extended period of downtime to print a license, or not a license level, size 3 mech.
That's cool, that's cool. The ability to use printers in itself here is a helpful thought for what we'd be dealing with, but I alone do not speak for my group of compatriots, so...
I'd like to take on the job.
Could we have some time to discuss amongst ourselves, considering we are still down one group member? How much time would you give us to discuss if we will take the job or not?
Well, I'm not going to put all of you to work immediately. Like I said, all of you can take all the time you need. Get settled in, relaxed, get a full night's rest if you'd like, and a breakfast, food in your bellies, before you decide to take on these jobs. Because, pressing as they are, we can only do them one or the other. We don't have much more than a day to deal with them. So take all the time you need, yes, but understand that we need your assistance as soon as you are able to provide it.
Right.
In a matter of speaking your first job, you may be delighted to figure out. You get to choose. We have, as I mentioned earlier, 2 tasks that need completion.
And one of those 2 tasks.
The first one. As a result of all these recent storms that have been passing through the area and waterlogging our systems, a particular landing bowl that we use for shuttles to take off and land is flooded and therefore not operational. Which means we can't get anything larger than a dropship down here to help service our colony and its needs. If you could protect the ERC engineers as they make their way with their convoy to this landing bowl to unclog this flood, whilst protecting them from this Egregorian threat, it would be most appreciated and would allow for those auxiliary printers to come in on an advanced schedule, thereby offering you more opportunities to print bigger and better pieces of equipment.
Dogcatcher is increasingly getting excited.
That, or I'm sure, as our militia leader mentioned to you, there's a marksman keeping an eye on our open streets and putting holes in anything larger than a person, be that a vehicle or a mech. You can find them and deal with them. It will take a great deal of pressure off of everyone in town. And I'm sure once word spreads, they will find their own individual ways to thank you. In addition to that, you are free to keep whatever you find on this marksman and whoever happens to be traveling with him. Whatever that may be.
Let's see.
So your choices are two. Deal with the marksman threatening our colony, or help clear the flooded landing bowl with the assistance of the engineers to provide a clean landing zone for things bigger than a shuttle to come in. Now, of course, if you decide not to help the engineers, it doesn't mean that it will never get done, but it just means that it'll happen a whole lot slower than it ought to.
Now, the question is, depending on how fast we do one task, would we be able to initiate the other one?
Afraid not. That marksman's going to notice your movement in and out of the colony. And once he sees you exiting, you might get spooked. And he'll probably be far, far away by the time you get back and done with that other task. So I'm afraid it's a matter of one or the other.
Well, I meant more along the lines of we went after the marksman first.
You decided to go after the marksman first, then deal with the landing bowl situation. With this storm currently passing through, it will likely be too flooded in that area to get our engineers in to do any good. We've had, believe it or not, we've had a dry spell for the last couple of days. This rain is recent, and it's filling up that area fast. You might not have time either way. Again, I leave it up to you. We can manage one way or the other regardless of which task you choose, but one of them requires your attention. When all of you collectively come to a decision, let me know. And we can go from there.
Alright.
In the meantime, I will talk to the head engineer to see if he can't reorganize some of the printers for printing of arms and armaments.
Oh my god. Sounds like Trevor Smalling.
Trevor got kidnapped by his brother.
You broke in.
Hello, brother. I need $5, brother.
That's what he asked me for yesterday, actually.
Oh, Jesus.
Brother. I require $10, brother.
I gave him $4 in cash.
Wait, didn't he ask for 40 cents?
For Robux, yes.
I remember that. Exactly 40 cents is crazy.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, all of you are willing to come to a decision right away.
What are you guys thinking? I'm thinking sniper.
I would like
I'm
time
thinking
to
that-
consider.
I'm thinking about the loot on that guy, but I also want those printers.
Well, the thing about the printers is we'd still get the printers here. It'd just take a bit longer.
If I'm a little impatient.
And the door behind all of you, while you're having your conversation, opens and closes again. And Patience will look behind all of you. Ah, I see our esteemed guest has finally made his appearance. And Jim,
Oh,
your
fuck.
daughter is back at the hotel room, resting peacefully. You have a fresh change of clothes. You're dry, you're well fed, well rested. And coming into this room with the implicit understanding that you are under express legal protection from Patience.
Who's that? You all didn't tell me you had another friend.
Oh. Oh. Who are you? You Ooh. It looks like you fell into a blender on your way to a Ford convention. Like, you're the personification of my dog ate my homework. Like,
That was really good,
you
Raven.
spill a grande of Starbucks-sized cup of hydrochloric acid on yourself. Looks like you let the kid who barely passed medical school with ChatGPT give you a rhinoplasty. Are you an extra on The Walking Dead? You know,
Raymond,
you
what
need
the
to hide
fuck?
that on.
God,
Someone got your nose and never gave it back.
I got your nose and never even
I
down.
went
The
confirmed,
fuck,
right? I've
Raymond?
seen both of them already off. He must be the other
You
person in the fight everyone talks about.
You see her eyes furrow as you hear a low growl.
I mentioned Jim
Oh.
does not give a shit.
Oh, what's that?
Zayden, you see a
Tate's
little.
anxiety just shot up tremendously, dude. What the fuck?
Zayden, you see a little bit of foam out of the corner of Dogcatcher's mouth.
Right, Zayden is
Little
now on the
thingy.
brink of an anxiety attack. Can we please?
I'm ready to Freddy Fazbear over there.
What?
Hey, Raven,
Little
please,
thingy
Raven,
is
continue.
stuck
I
in
need to
your
hear
whale?
more.
This is great. I love it. Wait, what did you say?
What? Timmy stuck in the well.
Right. Zayden, stand up and move next to Shangyangy, please.
Sure.
Dogcatcher immediately snaps out. It was like, "No, I like you sitting next to me. You should sit down.
I'm thoroughly
Oh,
terrified.
I don't
Please
like
let me move.
Sit down."
Okay. Zayden sits
Thank
back down.
you. And then immediately goes back to low growling at Jim. And you see
Oh.
a little bit of foam falls onto your shoulder and seeps into your jacket.
Okay, at this point, Zayden's just got his
didn't expect the
head
dog
buried in his
to.
hands.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. We need to turn Raymond up. I need to hear this. I need to hear
Hold on,
more,
hold on.
Raymond.
I didn't expect the dog to be telling the human to sit down.
Right, Zayden's got his head buried in his hands, and there's just tears. There's just tears.
Raymond, you need some more creative material. You're kind of going for all the low-hanging fruit there.
No, I think it's great. This is awesome.
That was great.
If you want one of these modifications, all you gotta do is ask.
Ah. Who taught you how to speak?
Oh,
All right,
okay.
now you're just being a racist ass.
No, that's not racist. Who taught you how to speak?
It's like,
Racist in the sense of this person looks like a dog, so they must be stupid like a dog.
That's speciesist.
Specious.
Species.
Both of you are fucking wrong. It's specious.
No,
Sorry.
you know how. You know, it's a trick. Like you tell your dog to shake, they raise up their paw. You shake. You say speak, and they bark. And... Clever wordplay. Thank you very much.
I need to wait.
Oh my
Listen.
god, Jim Pickens busts up in here and immediately starts insulting the
Like,
shit out of
First
Elliot.
thing, Jim's just like, you're a freak, aren't you? You're a dog. You're a furry. You're like an extra on The Walking Dead. Oh, sit down. Oh, shake, boy. Come on.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you how to speak. Where's your owner? Where's your collar? Oh, looks like you're a stray. Got a little mangy too, aren't you? Just like Vine Boom every single time.
No, that was fucking gold.
Fine.
I really want to use that, but it's not a good idea.
Please tell me, like, the, have you guys seen the shorts where the guy's just like, oh god, he always does these skits where, like, someone is trying to get him to do something, and he just gets more and more frustrated until he goes, no!
Yeah.
I say, work the kids harder! Make the age match the wage!
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
She literally walked into the room and said, oh no!
God damn.
I didn't know we had extras for Zootopia here!
God. I want to do the one thing so bad because this would actually piss her off.
You look like the main villain in
Just
Cats.
what would you do if I did that right now?
Oh fucking no! All right, but GM, are you done throwing super hot fire, super hot shade this way? I genuinely want to know if you have more. I mean,
Yes.
if you have more, I'm really willing to hear it.
I'll probably come up more as we go on. But that's all that I have.
Yeah, it's like a nighttime medication.
So, with all players present,
Not all players.
not all players, with most everyone present, who is going to be here for the next session, which we could have another session as soon as tomorrow, by the way.
Woo.
I'm down.
I'm
Yeah,
off tomorrow.
Everyone knows I
I have
genuinely
work
have
tomorrow.
nothing to do.
All right, Raymond, I'll talk to you about that after we're done here, which we're going to have to wrap up here a bit soon because Vinny has to go to bed. And so do I. I'm pretty tired myself.
You have to drive home.
I also have to drive home. But anyway,
I'm kicking you.
with most everyone here, sans one or two people, of course.
I thought you were gonna say Sans Undertale.
No.
One or two. Is literally only one person missing.
Yeah, no, I know. One or two, well, we might have additional players in the future. Whatever.
Oh yeah, Gabe was gonna join. Oh yeah,
Yes.
forgot about that.
Sans one or maybe two people. What is the collective decision now that everyone is present and able to discuss in character and out of character?
Guys, I want to go beat up that dude who's like, I watch you. Bro is not Santa.
Oh yeah, I don't like the sniper either. I don't like not being able to walk through a town because there might be someone trying to take pot shots at me.
Also, the kids. Like, let
Yeah.
the kids play in this. That's really fucked up.
I don't dig that. I don't dig people that just sit and take shots at a town.
Yeah, no, I think we should go kill that guy.
I agree.
I don't want to have to do anything for this patience, dude. We're not fucking.
Let's go kill
What's
him.
the word?
Boy, sick him.
Errand boys. We're not fucking errand boys for this motherfucker. We came here because the union sent us, and they just said that they're not the ones who sent out the beacon. Therefore, we have a completely different job to get done on this planet.
Elliot says out loud, is just like, I'd like to go kill the sniper for one. That's
Well-
my vote.
Also, Delaney, you're under the impression that Union was either just not like they were interfering, and because of the request form for more printers, or us doing work here that gives us access to printers to do shit for our mechs on this planet, because we're gonna be here a while, because we have to fix our ship. That it won't eventually lead us into the main reason we're here.
Great.
Yeah,
I'm just
finding-
thoroughly
By the way,
confused.
finding and sourcing, this is sort of out of character almost. Finding and sourcing the appropriate amount of material to go into the reactor for your ship, as well as printing and fixing and making do of the repairs of your vessel, as well as finding integral parts that cannot be printed, like sensitive documents or pieces of data or identification badges. All of that is going to take just about a year's worth of work
What? What?
to repair your own ship, unless you just want to abandon it here, which
What?
may not be wise.
No, definitely not. We're not leaving that thing.
Oh my god, we're gonna be stuck here for a year?
By the way, like,
With me.
so
Oh
I'm
my
just
god, we're gonna be stuck with the dog for a year?
I see this
Also,
as
like,
an absolute win.
while Crow has been off camera, I'm just going to say that they've been moving back and forth between the hangar, where they think the ship is, estimating time for repairs and stuff like that. And as soon as you guys have this conversation, Crow will patch all of you in and say, ship broke, it's gonna take a year.
Oh,
But Elliot kind of, looks at all of you. He's like, who's with me? I say we kill the bitch that's not letting the kids play in the street. Am I right? Or am I right? Right? Like, puts her arms around both you, Zayden, and the boss. pulling them in like good old butts and tilting her head side to side, and drool is just slamming in your faces.
Oh,
Right. Well, at this point, Zayden's just thoroughly given up, and it's just he's done. He does not care what anyone else chooses to do. He just wants to collapse into a ball and cry.
Bro wants to go sleep.
Bro is stuck in a hug with the dog slobbering on him. His eyes are closed, squeezed shut tight, and he's just like praying to some deity that he doesn't even know exists. He's like, please just get me out of here. Please, I just want to go back to my
She
room.
sees
Please
she
just
got
get me out of
drool
here.
on you,
Please, I
and
wanna
Mina goes,
leave.
"I'm sorry about that," and wipes it off with her jacket.
Oh,
jacket that stinks of grease.
It smells
And
like
wet dog.
whatever you guys decide to do, Zayden will just follow. He's done. He doesn't want to talk anymore. He just immediately crumbles back onto the couch and buries his face in his hand.
Sniper it is then.
Wait a minute.
What does everybody want to do?
I want to kill the sniper. Seems like they want to kill the sniper.
I also want to kill the sniper.
Jim, you're as much a part of the group as anyone else is. What's your verdict?
Huh. Well, it seems like if we go after the other thing, then the sniper will run away. And if it comes back, then we can deal with it. But it seems like everyone wants to go the sniper, so who am I to argue
Zayden
with
wants to go to
majority
bed.
rule?
I say we all give it a really nice rest, and then we go kill a bitch.
I cannot. All I hear is Nico. All I hear is Nico.
I'm gonna tear this motherfucker's heart out and eat it.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
little out of character
that's
for
the
Nico.
spirit.
And she's giggling a little bit. You cannot tell if she's joking or not.
People in chat are going crazy, by the way. Shangyangy just like, dog woman, dog woman, dog woman, dog woman, yeah!
I'll eat your heart out.
You see one line in there that just says, the people want blood.
This is like a blood for the blood god kind of scenario that's happening right now.
Yep.
Blood for the dog woman. Heart for the dog woman.
Oh,
Chat, can we get a gif of the
The more
dog woman
Chat, can we get a gift?
saying I'll rip the heart out and eat it?
Chat, clip that.
Clip it and gif it.
Chat, clip this.
You just keep getting the clip over and over again of like, I'm gonna tear that motherfucker's heart out and eat it.
It just turns into like a fucking notification sound.
Oh,
That's wonderful. I'm glad chat.
All right. So it looks like we've come to a shaky resolution here. And that when we begin next session, we will immediately be on the sit rep.
Woo!
For finding that sniper and kicking his teeth in.
or tearing his heart out, apparently.
Or
If you get the heart, you gotta give it to me.
They jump at me. They jump at me.
Don't jump in me.
eat your heart out.
The vein's the yummiest part.
I
And she's like, I'm joking.
like using the aorta as a straw.
If you look at it this way, the heart's just a juice box.
It really is. See, you get me.
Oh, God. All right, that is an appropriate place to end, I think.
God, I hope you guys like Elliot. I think it's stupid. I love it.
Elliot is amazing.
You made my character have a mental breakdown.
I have a feeling Alien and Jim are gonna be the best of friends.
I crushed
You
it.
know-
Minnie.
Dog is man's best friend, after all.
Oh.
I don't think any of us questioned the fact that Jim was back. We were too distracted by the roast.
Oh.
I'm glad you
Zayden's brain was too fried. After everything.
I wasn't surprised. I knew he was around.
That's what I'm wondering.
I'm a bit confused as to why he popped up here, but I knew he was still around town.
Oh, don't you know? Patience and I are like best of buds. So,
When did that happen?
Why?
off camera, I've decided.
Oh,
Oh, Benny left.
nope. Hello?
All right,
So,
Oh,
you guys enjoyed that session.
Yes,
I'm
it
gonna
was.
go
I
home.
loved that one.
that was great.
That one was all